from Fordham University. On air, online, and always commercial-free.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. I'm Anthony Smith, joined alongside Emma Leonardi, Sam Giangrande behind the board, Tucker Austin going to join us shortly, and Bobby Chaffardini is in the building as well. It's a beautiful Saturday morning on the campus of Fordham University. We're in the Rose Hill Studios, and we're about 8 days into August. Not a lot of sports to talk about, but we still got a good rundown for today. Let's go through it. We've got the MLB to talk about first. Trade deadline wrapped up this week. Then we're going to go into Yankees, Mets, the moves they made, how they're doing. Then we'll start talking about the NFL, how the training camp has looked for a variety of teams. We'll talk about the local teams and the Giants and the Jets. And towards the last hour of the show, we're going to talk about the WNBA. And to wrap things up, Sam has a game for us as always. So should be a fun show. But Emma, about 8 days into August, how are we feeling so far?
I feel like August has gone by pretty fast, and I feel like it's going to go by fast. You know, we have 2 weeks until we start school up again. 2 weeks until everyone's back. That's very exciting. But yeah, so far just here, just chilling, just trying to enjoy the last remnants of summer.
And we had this discussion about an hour ago. For me, it seems like this summer has gone by really fast.
Yeah.
But I've also been gone for 2 months, and I think that helped out a lot. But for you, this summer has gone by really slow, you were mentioning to me.
Oh, yeah. It's gone by very slow. And so I feel like actually that's kind of helpful because it's like I feel like I've gotten my break in and I'm ready. I'm mentally, I'm physically ready to be back in the classroom.
Although I do got to say, as I got back home, and it's been a couple weeks since I've been home, I think that it's gone by much slower, and I think the rest of this month maybe just go by slower, but I'm honestly excited for school to start back up again, get to get into the swing of things. I'm excited for a trip to San Diego in about a week.
Ooh.
Going to Petco Park, see a Padres
Wow.
game, along with just visiting my uncle, so I'm going to spend a couple days out there.
Nice.
I think I'm seeing the Padres play the Twins, but I've never been that far to go to a baseball game. I think I've only been to like Citi Field and Yankee Stadium, so this would be the start of to try and visit some other stadiums. So I'm really excited for that. Have you ever visited any other stadiums aside from the local ones?
Yes. So I mean I've been to like a couple actually. I'm not so much like I'm more on the like NHL side of things, trying to get all of the like arenas and stuff, but I've gotten a fair number of baseball stadiums just because my family's a baseball family. But like the first baseball stadium I ever went to was Wrigley Field when I was 5 weeks old. I feel like
It's a dream for me. I want to go there, yeah.
I've told this story on air like so many times, but I was 5 weeks old and my mom took me to Wrigley Field to see the Cubs because she's a Cubs fan. Grew up in Miami and DC, so I've been to, why is the Marlins park escaping me, like the name of it?
It's like Lone Depot, I think.
Yes,
yeah.
Lone Depot. I've been to Lone Depot. I've been to Nats Park, easy, like just growing up. Yeah, I don't think any other like standouts, but I've probably been to one or two like here and there.
Yeah, I haven't really like traveled the world to go to many different ballparks or stadiums or anything. I don't know. I definitely want to do that in the future, and I think I will end up doing that. But like for NFL, I think it's mainly been MetLife. That's also just so much harder to go to like different NFL games, just because like the tickets. Obviously, baseball, it's just so much simpler. Like a Yankee game was like $15, like especially in the summer and stuff like that. So it's probably even cheaper in other places.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see Petco Park. I've heard great things about it. Again, I think they're playing the Twins, and I don't know. San Diego's just a electric place.
Yeah.
What are some of the best places that you've visited in your time, aside from maybe going to like a ballpark or anything? Some of your favorite vacations?
Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this question. I grew up with parents who really like to travel the world. We're not talking related to sports, right? We're just talking in general.
Yeah.
I feel like my favorite vacation I've ever taken actually is related to sports. I went to New Zealand for the Women's World Cup in 2022. That was electric. I've also been to a couple other places. like overseas. I've been across Europe, and then I've also been to like Singapore and India and Vietnam. Very very big like world travelers, especially when I was a kid. So I was very lucky, but definitely New Zealand has a special place in my heart. That was just such a cool trip.
You gotta get like I don't know if you have this already, like a map of like just marking everywhere you've been.
See, I don't have a
That's
map.
what my mom and her fiance, they have that in our house. So they've
Yeah.
been marking it off because they've been on like their vacation journey throughout these past couple of years. I think they went to Italy and Greece on like a nice 2-week trip. They
Yeah.
said I forgot where they said they're going next year, but maybe Germany. I think they said, and like a trip around there.
That's
I don't
awesome.
really remember, but
That's
they are
awesome.
on their journey to go visit the world, and they
Yeah.
have the map right by the front of our house. So that I think you should
Yeah.
invest in one of those.
My mom, she doesn't have a map, but she has like a list, like a notes app list of all the places she's been.
That works too. That's what I do
That
for
works,
everything. but-
yeah. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you don't need anything fancy. But that's actually a great gift idea. Mom, don't watch this. It's actually a great gift idea to get her like a world map where you can
Yeah.
like color in all the places you've been or like something like that.
I don't know what exactly they have. I think
Mm.
they have pins, and then they kind of stretch
Mm.
it across to how much they covered. Because like
Wow.
they're not staying in usually in one place when they
Yeah.
travel. Like I think like Italy and Greece, it was like on a boat or something. So they kind of took that to Italy, Greece, and different parts of Italy, obviously. So they went all over the country. I think that's what they have.
Yeah.
I'll fact check that later today. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm almost certain what that is. But it was really it's kind of sad because I don't know where like we had like a family or like not a family portrait, but a whole bunch of like photos just together in one thing. I have no clue where that went because the map went there, but
Yeah.
I mean I guess it's cool.
No, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good idea. Like the lines, especially 'cause you're right when you're traveling, especially like in places like Europe or even like South America, like Central and South America, like you're going to so many different places, I feel like, in one trip usually because they're so close and so you can cover a lot of countries in a short distance. So that's actually really smart. Wow. Never thought of that.
Nice conversation to start us off here on this Saturday morning of one-on-one. We got a couple games we said that we're going to play today. Sam, the inventor of the games here at WFUV, has got one for us. He's going to explain the rules to us. I think we're going to be playing this throughout the show. So, Sam, why don't you take this one away?
Yeah, so we started this last week, and besides it just being fun, it created a little bit more focus. Emma, at least you said that last week, where we introduced it. It's called Code Words, where I'm each going to send you 2 words, an easy and a hard word. And throughout the show, you're going to want to try and sneak it into your lingo, if you will, your conversation, and trying to use it as many times as possible without the other person realizing what your word is. So I'm going to send it to you guys now.
So
And it'll be at the end of the show,
Okay.
you guess.
And you have to try and use them a massive amount of times.
Massive was
Massive,
one of the
there it
ones
is.
last
Massive was
week.
my
So
word last time.
Emma will know mine, and she won't know mine.
Yeah, I'll text you them privately.
Wait, I just said the exact same thing. I won't know
It's
her.
okay.
She won't know mine.
Yeah, other
Oh my
way
God.
around. But
Yeah.
So-
and then we'll guess at the end.
the easy word is 1 point, and then the hard word is 3 points.
And it's every time you say it.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Sam, are you keeping track, or is this us?
I'll be keeping track, but your personal self also keep track. Because last time, I'm not even just saying to say it. Emma said massive so many times I could not keep track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
would have lost
I
would have.
kept like a tally on
You
my like
okay? Yeah.
docs.
Do you want me to just keep like
Yeah.
a point total?
And then I'll be doing it as
Yeah.
well, just in case. But because you might get into the habit where you're gonna say it and not realize that you're saying it, just because you have to get it out.
I hope this is like a word that I like say often. It's like my filler word, and that'd be perfect, but probably not.
See, I've started to learn people's filler words because I know massive was
Interesting.
one of like everyone's filler words.
Yeah, it was somebody's here. Yeah.
Because it's
I
just
think
an
it was
easy
Carino?
might have been
word to-
Carino.
Carino?
Yeah. All right, Anthony, I just sent you yours. I'm gonna send you yours now. And
Okay.
once again, like last time, there's a little bit of theme with 2 of the words. There's a theme
Okay.
again with this
Okay.
one. It's like when you get like your, I don't know, like your dorm assignment, your schedule. It's like you're like so excited to look down what it could be.
I'm genuinely so excited. It was so much fun last
But
time.
it also helps to keep focused. 'cause
Oh,
you
for
have-
sure.
yeah.
I was telling Sam after, like, we were talking about how the broadcast went last weekend, and I was saying after, I was like, it, like, was not only fun, but it was also, like, I was so locked in, because I was like, okay, like, what words could, I think it was Tiz who was here, and I was like, what, I was like, what word, like, is he saying? Like, what's his word?
Yeah.
So it kept me locked into
Yeah.
what he was saying, but then also locked into what I was saying, because
All
I was
right,
thinking
both
about
That's a lot of
words
focus.
are
Yeah.
out.
How much points did you end up with last week, Emma?
Was it
I
27?
said it was. I think it was 27 because I said massive 21 times.
Oh my God.
So it's 21 points, and then I said my other one was
brain rot.
brain rot. I said it twice, but he figured that one out.
Yeah. So how we're gonna do this is where you're not gonna. If I were you, you're gonna want to try and obviously write down what you think it is and write it out to yourself. But throughout the show, we'll both try and keep tally of the points. 1 point for the easy, 3 for the hard. At the end, we're gonna guess. Once right before we're about to close the show, we'll guess. And if you guess one of the words but not the other, we'll just deduct the points that you guess from. But I sent them out, and at this point, like it's kind of like a mental game. You want to like see like, do you start saying it right away? Do you start introducing it a little later in? But the words are out, so
all right.
Yeah,
however
so
you guys want to use them.
Stay tuned for that game.
if
Try
you
and see
have
if you can
any-
follow
yeah.
along with us
If you have any guesses,
As
drop
me-
them in the
yeah.
the chat.
as me and Emma go at it. But we've got the MLB and the trade deadline talk right after this break here on One on One.
I'm Kurt Sipple, telling you to tune into One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. Catch us live every Saturday on our WFUV Sports YouTube Live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and later on 90.7 WFUV from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We break down the week's latest headlines with our collection of tri-state area beat reporters, along with interviews with your favorite athletes and media personalities. WFUV is your home to talk all things New York sports.
Hello everyone, I'm Trey Rodriguez, calling you to tune in to WFUV Sports One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. We're live every Saturday on YouTube from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and later at night on 90.7 FM from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We cover the latest news in the sports world with our wide range of beat reporters, as well as exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes. We'll see you next Saturday on One on One.
Hey, what's up? It's Owen Kelty, one of WFUV Sports' New York Knicks beat reporters. Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks look to dominate the East and bring a championship back to New York. Keep up all season long on my X account at Owen Kelty for all the highs and lows of New York Knicks basketball. WFUV Sports is your home for all things Knicks.
And welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. Anthony Smith alongside Emma Leonardi. We'll head into our first segment of the day, going over Major League Baseball and the trade deadline, which wrapped up on August 3rd or 4th, I believe. But a lot of interesting moves that were made. There was one that was made a couple of days before the trade deadline, the biggest move, and it's Tarik Skubal going from the Detroit Tigers to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it's a rental move, but a chance for him to re-sign with LA after the offseason. He had his first start a couple days ago in Chicago, went 6 innings, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. They ended up losing that game. The Dodgers, on a 7-game losing streak, no longer sit at the top of the National League, but that's obviously not going to matter come postseason time. They're just in a bit of a rough skid right now, but still have one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in baseball in Tarik Skubal, and it seemed like they didn't really have to, or I don't want to say give up much, but it seemed like a deal that's going to be well worth it for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It also is a deal that, made everyone, if you didn't already hate the Dodgers. I mean, obviously Dodgers fans don't hate the Dodgers, but if you didn't already hate the Dodgers as a non-Dodgers fan, then you hate them now because um this is just like insane, and I feel like the way that the Dodgers have like stacked their entire lineup and then now also like pitching is just ridiculous. Um, One thing I hate in sports, and it's nice when you're a Dodgers fan because you have a good chance at winning, even though they've been on like this losing streak, but I don't think that's gonna last. Um, like it's just like it's nice as a Dodgers fan 'cause, yeah, you like your to see your team win, but it sucks as a fan of any other team because it's just like how are you gonna go up against this absolutely like just like massive team, like how, and it's just like it just sucks, I feel like, and it sucks because I wanted to see him go like anywhere else, literally anywhere else, because I thought it was going to be more interesting if he went anywhere else, but now he's just on the Dodgers and I'm just kind of like, okay. And yeah, the Dodgers definitely, I feel like, got the better end of the deal.
Yeah.
Even if they gave away 3 people, like
Nah,
you got the better end
yeah,
of the
that's
deal.
that's. I know he in the ALDS last year against the Mariners. In the 2 games he pitched, they lost. But the narrative for Tarek Skubal in the postseason is when he pitches, you basically get an automatic win. Obviously, everyone's saying, "Oh, let's just grant the Dodgers a third World Series." The games still have to be played. The Dodgers were taken
It's definitely
to their final 2 outs or whatever it was in Game 7, and then obviously Miguel Rojas happens, and they ended up winning the game in extra innings. But still, it was a close game, and I think
Yeah.
any team still has a shot. Baseball is a very interesting sport. We saw the Cubs sweep the Dodgers. A lot of teams have been making moves. The Cubs specifically have made a couple of moves. We'll get into the type of moves they made, but I'm not sure if you saw what Tarek Skubal said after the trade when a lot of fans are saying or getting mad at Skubal for going to the Dodgers, but obviously it's not on him or anything. He's the one that got traded. He has really no control.
Exactly.
He said any team can trade for me, but I think fans are a little bit mad that he has a chance of re-signing with the Dodgers and staying there for a lot more years.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's actually saying that or if he's just trying to troll the fans out here, but I don't know. It's a little weird with Skubal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his mindset is, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Emma. Is Skubal kind of messing around with the fans, or you think that he's legitimately playing here for the Dodgers, chance to get a ring, and then maybe coming back to Detroit?
I feel like there's an argument to be made for either. On the like messing with the fan side, I honestly wouldn't blame him because when you have so many fans like attacking you personally for something that was like out of your control pretty much, like you were traded. Like that's not on you entirely. Like yes, like it does have to do with your skills and stuff like that, but like that's not on you. That's not like I'm going here. Like I am choosing, I'm making the executive decision. This choice is all on me that I'm going here. Like that was not his case. When you have people coming at you from like all directions, being mad at you, and like I don't think that fans necessarily are like in the wrong to be mad about this situation. As I just said, I'm mad about the situation, but I don't think that he's the right person to be mad at. I honestly think you should just be mad at the Dodgers. Like you redirect your anger, and I think that if he's messing with fans because of them directing their anger at him, like that's completely fair. Like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, okay, like if you're gonna be mad at me for like not my fault, then I'm gonna also like come back at you and be messy. Like that's just how it is. I feel like on the other side, it's his future with the thing about his future with the Dodgers is that so much of it like rides on whether or not we have baseball next year. And my mom texted me after this trade actually happened, and she was like, you can thank your like friendly like neighborhood Dodgers fan for like baseball not coming back next year, because she's like convinced that this trade was like the like not the, like the turning point, because like we have been on a path where we're like unsure if baseball's coming back next year, but she was like, now I'm pretty sure baseball's not coming back next year. And so I think even speculating about, like, is he going to, re-sign with the Dodgers, or is he going to go back to the Tigers if he ends up winning this World Series with the Dodgers? Like, it's just so far away from anything that I'm thinking about now, because I'm just thinking about, are we going to even have baseball next year? So I'm not even thinking about where is everybody going to be next year. I'm thinking, are we even going to have a chance to see anybody? So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, there's a big chance that baseball may not be played in 2027. There was already a lot of talks about that, but now with Scuba going to the Dodgers, and we'll see what happens in October if the Dodgers can claim a third straight title. If not, or if they do, Scuba possibly could be moving back to Detroit, maybe another team, maybe coming back to the Dodgers. It reminds me of Aroldis Chapman in 2016 when he got traded to the Cubs, ended up winning a World Series, went back to the Yankees, the team that traded him away. But we'll start fading our way to a couple of other moves within the trade deadline. Another big move from the Boston Red Sox, getting Adley Rutschman. A big package sent to the Baltimore Orioles. They gave up Carlos Narvaez, 2 pitching prospects, and an outfield prospect. Rutschman has not yet played a game for Boston, but he's set to make a rehab assignment soon. And Boston, one of the hottest teams in the major leagues, 27-3 in their last 30 games, have moved to 5 games out of the division, half a game behind the Yankees. They're in that second wild card spot, and now getting what used to be one of the best catchers in the game. He's kind of been ruined by injuries a little bit, but he's a good switch hitting player, good defensively, and he makes the move within the AL East. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do for the Red Sox. As a Yankee fan, I wanted him, but the package that was gave up for Rutschman was definitely a huge deal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they also got, Jake Rogers in the deal and cash. And Tucker's joining us.
And now we like to welcome Tucker
Now
Austin.
we'd like to welcome Tucker Austin.
Hello, everyone.
We have traded for Tucker Austin. He is now in this room.
We have traded for Tucker Austin. No, so, like, they still got, they got a secondary player and cash, so I don't think, I mean, the package is, like, it is huge, like, that they gave, but it's still, I think it's a good deal. I still think that they're getting quality, and I still think they're probably, or hopefully they're getting what they need. They've been doing pretty well, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens when he comes back from being injured, to see how he fits in with this Red Sox lineup.
I can't stand the Boston Red Sox.
The first words he says.
I cannot stand the Boston Red Sox. Wow. Just the amount of collusion that went on behind the scenes between the Red Sox and the Orioles, making a trade in division, and the only reason that a team in the AL East would make a trade with another team in the AL East would be to screw over another team in the AL East. And that's exactly what the Red Sox and the Orioles did to the New York Yankees. Of all of the catchers, and yes, I've spent the last 2 weeks talking about how, no, I don't really care about most of the catchers who were purported to be available at this deadline. But then suddenly Rutschman's name started getting thrown around, and it was like, oh, okay, this is clearly the option. And I mean, like, you guys will talk about I'll probably be around for the Yankees segment because it's coming up next, but the Yankees did not address catching at this deadline, and Rutschman could have been the answer. Absolutely could have been the answer. Switch hitter. Like, that literally solves the only problem they have, which is that they have too many lefty catchers. But the Red Sox swoop in, and the Orioles allow them to do so, and it leaves the Yankees out to dry. For the Red Sox, they're arguably the hottest team in baseball right now. This is an amazing move. I've seen this listed among, like, the top 5 moves overall at the deadline. So, yes, it'll be the question of if he can get healthy again, Emma, before the end of the season, which I believe he's on track to maybe come back at some point this year. But again, you don't know which version of Adley Rutschman you're going to get coming off of an injury.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I don't discredit that at all, but I also don't think that the Red Sox really have to, like, worry about that too much. Like, I'm more interested with him in just seeing, like, what happens when he comes back from the injury list, but it is just still, like, a good move. Like, I
think the important thing for Boston is try not to rush him and rush him back to get so soon.
I see what you did there.
Don't rush him back.
Don't rush him back.
That was no pun intended. I swear. I did the same thing yesterday, actually, when I was eating wings. So I was like, oh, I just wing it instead of having, like, anyone. I don't know. It just comes up in my head. Anyways, the Boston Red Sox are doing just fine. As much as I hate to say it, they're doing just fine with the pieces that they have. So I think they should just wait for Rutschman to try and get as fully healthy as he can come October, and then from there they'll have him. But let's move over from Boston to Philadelphia. Philadelphia getting a major key to their lineup. Luis Ariz, a lefty batter, big contact bat, coming over from the San Francisco Giants. Another guy that I wish the Yankees could have snagged, but he goes to Philadelphia instead. He's been good so far, and a team is finally using Luis Ariz as their cleanup hitter. I think that's the perfect move to have Luis Ariz as your cleanup hitter because of the contact that he makes. If you get guys on base, he's gonna drive in a lot of runs. Tucker, I'll pass it over to you first. Thoughts on this Luis Ariz move to Philadelphia?
It's interesting you say that because it's kind of like the backwards version of how you normally think of a cleanup hitter. Like, it's supposed to be a guy with a lot of power, maybe not as much contact, who can clear the bases with one swing if they happen to get loaded. But I actually, I agree with you a little bit. I think using Ariz in that way brings kind of a different dimension to the offense in that way, where, maybe you don't have the thump and the explosive run-producing power in that four-hole, but instead you can now create extremely long first innings against teams. Like, if you get a couple of guys on base and then Ariz comes up, he slaps one into the gap, and now everybody's moving. So he has the ability to extend offensive streaks within games better than a home run would. For the Phillies, I thought it was weird that, although I guess they didn't really need to address their pitching, but in a league where it was an arms race after Tarek Skubal got traded to the Dodgers, pretty much every team that was remotely in contention for Skubal went out and grabbed supplementary pitching. And even teams who weren't in the conversation went out and got pitching too. So it seemed like a very pitcher-heavy deadline market, but then you go to the Phillies, and they really only needed to kind of give their offense a boost. You know, Adolis Garcia wasn't necessarily having an awesome season before he got hurt, but he was playing decently enough to make an impact in that lineup. And so without him for the rest of the year, they've been kind of floating a little bit. But I think the biggest concern is defensively. You bring Ariz in, that moves Stott, I believe, over to third because Ariz is going to play second base. And then it moves Bohm from third to first and bumps Harper back to the outfield, which, I mean, Harper was willing to do. But the biggest question I have seen asked in the last week has been, how are the Phillies going to be able to defensively adapt to that many changes this late in the year?
Yeah. No, but it's also like, I don't know, the fact that, like, you know, you had the Bryce Harper comment about, like, the offense needing help, and then you had, like, help, like that, I don't know, that, like, the Phillies organization actually, like, kind of listened to that, I feel like. And I'm not saying that, like, Bryce Harper is the reason that this, like, happened, but I just think that it's so interesting to see, like, a player come out and actually be like, we need help.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had influence over that.
Oh no,
I'm
I'm not saying like he
he's
didn't
the franchise at this point.
But I'm saying like it's probably not the like, you know, it's not the only reason is what I'm saying. But I would love to know what the other reasons are. I'd love to be in the, you know, I'd love to be in the back rooms just like listening. But no, I just think that it's really interesting. I also think that baseball teams need to be like, I've been seeing less and less like players, I feel like, who can just consistently every game hit a big home run and like clear bases like that. And I feel like the key, and my mom said this to me growing up when she was teaching me like all about baseball. She said the key is not home runs, it's getting on base, it's RBIs. That's how you get, like, that's how you score, and that's how you get these like bigger scores. It's not just by one home run. That's like that.
Look at your scouting reports, fellas, because I'm gonna stop saying it. He gets on base.
My God.
Sound like a high school coach.
You're definitely right. I mean,
I'm not wrong. Like,
the baseball has been moving further and further away from the version of the game that it used to be, and more towards the the big bad term is the 3 true outcomes, the home run, strikeout, or a walk. But you have a guy like Luis Arias who shows you that that's not necessarily how the game has to be played, even still to this day.
Exactly.
In an era with like sabermetrics, exit velo, launch angle, the whole nine, like you can still just be a contact guy. This guy has won like 3 straight batting titles now, or he's on track to win 3 straight if he hasn't already. And across multiple leagues as well. It doesn't matter where he is; he will hit the baseball. It's incredible to see a guy like that, and that's a level of excellence that when you do see a guy like that, and you see the rest of the league not doing it, you realize how difficult it is to do what Luis Arias does.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm just happy to see him on the East Coast. I don't really have that much beef with the Philadelphia Phillies. Being a Yankee fan, I'm sure Mets fans will think differently, but I like having these like studs on the East Coast where they're gonna get more attention, guaranteed. Like I noticed ever since he's gotten to Philadelphia, there's been social media posts left and right that I just stumble across of something that Luis Arias did. Do you notice how you didn't see that like ever when he was on the Giants?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big difference between things happening on the East Coast and things happening on the West Coast when everyone on the East Coast is asleep.
There was the video of him just going past home plate, and that was even funny. He was kind of just trolling the catcher there a couple feet
funny.
away,
I like that.
and then like backing up towards the dugout after he's like just gave up. He didn't even want to score anymore. But he actually, despite the major contact that he has and adds to the lineup, he actually smashed his first dinger as a Philly a couple
That's the
days
other
ago.
thing.
I think it was like his second game or something.
Yeah.
So he has some power to him.
No, he's not completely a contact-only guy, which is another, like, this archetype of hitters usually just big contact and occasionally lifts one out. Not nearly as elite, but, like, a guy like IKF comes to mind. Just, like, all-day contact, but nothing with really any power behind it. But Arias can get into a baseball. And so this is what kind of sets him even further apart as a hitter, is that he does hit for average, for a higher than 300 average, which, I mean, at any point in time throughout history would be insane, but especially now it's ridiculous. But he also has he has the home run. He has the ability to hit the ball out. So this guy's a really complete hitter. Maybe not as much power as like you would want out of a traditional 4-hole guy, but I think he fits really well into the lineup that the Phillies have constructed over this period of time. I just wonder if they have enough to really make a run.
Yeah,
in
I
the
think just the
playoffs.
competition in the National League is
It's so tough.
So tough.
And when you don't load up on pitching when everybody else does, it has the feeling it's going to come back to bite you in October.
And
when
speaking of
they
pitching,
can go deeper.
I want to talk about the Chicago Cubs as well. They got
Yeah, exactly. It's
Kevin
another one.
Gausman, Clay Holmes, the two big pieces that they really added. Obviously, Clay Holmes, again, another guy dealing with injuries, but if they can get him back and get him healthy, I feel like he could be a factor for
Is he gonna
Chicago.
come back this year?
I think he is. I forgot what the injury was, though. It was the Spencer Jones ground ball to his
It was something
leg.
like I think it was either
But
an ACL.
they did get
right?
Kevin
Something
Gausman,
in his
though.
knee.
Kevin Gausman is a good piece.
fractured right fibula.
Oh no, that was it. Yes, he broke something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's not nearly as long of a recovery time as I thought, but he definitely missed a huge chunk of the season.
Yeah.
Who let the Chicago Cubs
Cook.
get a ground ball pitcher with the best infield defense in Major League Baseball? Who let them do this? Oh yeah,
My
it was the
mom.
Dodgers.
They were secretly cooking.
My mom was there. She was watching the Cubs moves, and she was like, "Are you seeing the Cubs?" And I'm like, "Do what?" And then I looked, and I was like, "Oh."
They did.
I was like,
And for a team that's struggled offensively all year, I do not hate this at all because they decided to accept that as like a general weakness that can turn around. Like we got to remember, this is an offense powered by guys like Alex Bregman and Dansby Swanson when they're hot, but those two guys obviously have not had great seasons. The entire offense has struggled as a result. Pete Crow Armstrong having an arguably MVP level campaign.
he's delayed.
But again, like it can't just be him.
yeah,
So I love shoring up what you already know is good, and their pitching was already solid. Maybe not among the best in the league, but it would get them by, at least enough for their defense to help them out. Because my goodness, the Yankees went and played the Cubs at Wrigley. I think it was last week, as a part of that Chicago road trip.
Mhm.
It's the best defense I've seen all year.
Yeah,
Watching Yankee games the entire season, when I watch that Cubs infield, and even the outfielders too, really, like, all over the field, they're just a team of really solid defenders. And you add a guy like Gausman, eventually Holmes, when he comes back, he's another guy who he throws a sinker. It lends to a lot of ground balls. This team, I think they did what they needed to do, at least to compete with the Brewers and very maybe compete with the Dodgers. I think Cubs-Dodgers would be a very fun postseason series.
And the Cubs just swept the Dodgers at home. The Brewers, they didn't really do much. I think they were in the talks to get Skubal, but they weren't willing to give up the prospect, so it came back to bite them. They really didn't make that many moves. They didn't improve. They still sit as the best team in the league, but the Cubs only 4.5 games behind of the Brewers. And I want to talk about the Blue Jays before we wrap up this segment as well. Trading away Gausman, but they traded for Jose Soriano after that. So it seemed like they were going to sell, but it looks like they're also still setting up for the future, still a belief that next season they have the roster to succeed, and they're just giving up this season, kind of throwing it in the towel in a sense, but believe that they'll be back next year with some vengeance.
Yeah.
More than likely. I mean, this is a team that went to the World Series last year, so they certainly know how to get there and just have had a really poor run of luck this year. Generally poor performance from everybody. That's why they wound up selling Gausman. But then they did bring in Soriano, so it was almost like they didn't fully want to give up, but knew that they kind of had to. They're 15 games out of the East in last place. In last place in a division that's becoming incredibly competitive, too. So, you have 3 teams, essentially, that are going to be jockeying for first place as we come down the stretch run, and you're still trying to dig yourself out of a hole. They still have to hop the Orioles. So that's a selling point for me, that easily. Yeah. The Blue Jays are also... here's where it gets weird, though. The American League is incredibly tight when it comes to the wild card. The Blue Jays are 3.5 games out of a wild card spot right now, but they have 5 teams in front of them. So I suppose they kind of looked at the landscape and said, there are too many things that have to go right that we can't control for it to make sense for us to hold on to Gausman. So, off he goes, and they get a few prospects back. I mean, he's been giving them his best stuff all year. So I don't see him making a run this year just because it's been really, really inconsistent all season. They would need to put together consistent baseball for a couple of weeks. This is something I asked the Mets to do. They couldn't do it. I don't think the Blue Jays will do it either.
Then they kind of got rid of Gausman. I think he's in the last year of his contract, so just
makes sense. You just offload veterans with short contracts.
A team that could win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then getting Soriano, who has a couple years of control, is good. So I think that's why they're setting up for next year and just kind of throwing in the towel for this season. Competitive division, not as competitive as a league, but there's a lot of teams that are kind of just in the mix. And I think they, again, Tucker, like you said, it's just too many moving pieces. It's going to be hard to try and find their way to the postseason. But that's going to wrap up this segment. We're going to be talking now about the Yankees and a couple of trade deadline accusations they made after this break.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Diaz.
And I'm Mary Hannah Gallagher.
And we're the host of All In, a women's sports podcast.
On All In, we discuss everything women's sports, from the WNBA, the AUSL, and NWSL.
No matter the sport, we have you covered.
You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you get your podcasts.
All In is a production of WFUV Sports.
And welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. The number to call in, 718-817-2750. Again, 718-817-2750 as we talk about the New York Yankees coming off arguably the biggest win of the season last night, a 3-2 victory over the Atlanta Braves, down 2-0 in the ninth inning. But Austin Wells RBI double, Ben Rice RBI single, and Ryan McMahon walks it off with a sac fly in the 10th inning. Max Fried, the starter, goes 6 1/3 against his former team, not allowing a run. The Yankees 4.5 games back in the division. They play today and tomorrow against the Atlanta Braves to close a 3-game set. Tucker Austin, to my right, has the coverage for WFUV today. Tucker, thoughts on last night's game and thoughts on just this last week from New York baseball?
What a weird one last night. I mean, the Yankees have been playing some low-scoring games against interleague opponents recently. A lot of that in Chicago, but you could kind of blame that on the wind at Wrigley blowing in. Even though I thought it was cool that Spencer Jones hit one out against the wind. Just pure arms and muscle on that. But yeah, last night Yankees get a win in extras. I can't tell you how big winning the first game of the series is for this year's Yankees team is, because it takes all of the pressure off for the rest of the series. Specifically for a 3-game set, you win that first game, and it allows you to play the rest of the series kind of with house money. You're 1 game away from winning the series. You're in much less of a position to wind up losing that series, and especially at home. Of course, today's game is going to be pivotal for the series overall. But the Yankees this year have been very streaky within the series. So if they came into a series, lost the first game, I could pretty much tell you they're going to lose the series. They win the first game, they got a chance. But I really feel like the way it's gone this season, when the Yankees lose the first game of a set, they wind up losing the set or getting fully swept. So huge that it was a victory out of the jaws of defeat too, because this very well could have been going into today. Yankees might lose the series today, maybe even looking at a sweep at the hands of the Braves. But instead, you go 2-0 all the way to the 9th, right? Yeah, Raisel Iglesias. Yeah, I had a fun night in fantasy last night. Really, really fun night. So happy to have Raisel Iglesias in one of my closing spots for him to blow a second straight save. But you know, I don't really, I don't care that much. It was, at least it was the Yankees.
Yeah,
that's
See, it could have
all
been
I
worse.
got.
It could have been Boston.
Yeah, no, it could have been a team I really, really hated. But instead, I just might lose in fantasy this week because of Raisel Iglesias.
It's okay. It's only 1 week. But Old Timers Day today in the Bronx. Garrett Cole versus Chris Sale. Battle of 2 veterans.
Another fantasy guy for me, Chris Sale. I've got a lot of Braves, man. This series is bad for me.
Oh my God. Are you excited, Tucker?
I'm excited to see my fantasy pitcher throw in person.
Maybe.
I'm also excited for Old Timers Day. I got to go last year, and it was a pretty fun experience. Obviously, I'm here now, so I'm not doing as much of the event stuff, because that pretty much started. I think coverage for that started like 40 minutes ago, right when we started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to be there for that game. See a couple of guys who haven't been before. Some of the guys who come back pretty much every year. I always think it's cool to see Clay and Cody Bellinger hanging out, father and son in the dugout. And hopefully Mo is healthy. You mentioned before the show.
Activated
Mo's
off the 364 day injured list. Yeah.
What did he do last year? Did he pulled his hamstring or tore? No, he tore his quad.
Yeah, he tore something.
I think he tore his quad. I'm pretty sure it was that, but he tore his quad playing right field.
Yeah,
Mariano
in the
Rivera.
outfield. Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, utility guy. I mean, they had him listed as utility, right-handed pitcher, and a Hall of Famer. So
that tells you all you need to know about the Old Timers game. It's just a whole lot of fun. If you're not in the building today, I would highly suggest flipping it on the TV on Yes Network, because it's just a really fun. It's just a fun event overall. And who knows, somebody could go yard. Paul O'Neill hit a home run a few years ago and had to make his way around the bases and then call the game later. I remember Nick Swisher hit a home run. This had to be probably 8 years ago now at this point, 7 or 8 years ago. Nick Swisher homered in that game. So yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. I can't say anything better.
Yeah, we actually have 2 pairs of tickets to give away for Yankees game.
Hey now.
On Tuesday against the Seattle Mariners. The question of the day to get those free tickets: George Lombard, the guy the Yankees just called up from AAA, is the youngest shortstop to start since who? Again, answer that one. The number is 718-817-2750. Chance to win yourself 2 pairs of Yankees tickets for Tuesday's game against the Seattle Mariners. And let's talk about George Lombard. Got called up just at the beginning of the week against the Cardinals, and in his first game, hit his first hit and home run. And the Yankees so far 2-1 in the Lombard era, but the defense has really been present. A lot of double plays and clutch defense yesterday in the 10th inning.
Yeah, his defense has been unbelievable. Like to be perfectly straight, the jump between him and Volpe, obviously, wildly different there. But even the jump between him and Caballero, I feel like Lombard brings like a whole different dimension of youthful athleticism. You know, like Caballero could move, but he was definitely like an adult playing that position. This is a 21-year-old kid in Lombard who's now playing shortstop, and he's putting on a show. Hasn't made a wrong step yet. He's rolling double plays like he does it in his sleep. Jump throws with his body moving the other direction across the field. It's been unbelievable to watch him play defense. And I said this on Nosebleeds this week. It just rubs off on him. The entire rest of the team, that is. That kind of defense and that kind of suavite, I suppose you could say, it rolls down, and everybody feels that impact, and everybody plays better defense when he's on the field. Same situation happened with Caballero, but I feel like it's another step even. Because you see Ryan McMahon starting to make more of an impact defensively, which he already did, and that was what he's mostly known for. But, you know, his name starts to get said a little bit more, and that left side of the infield is looking really, really solid. Storybook first hit.
Yeah.
Like,
and
come on. And he gets the ball back, too. Like, a guy happens to catch it.
Zach Hampel almost
He was right there.
He was there.
I was about to bring him up. Zach Hampel was inches away from ruining this for the rest of baseball fans, but it bounced off of his glove. This guy, who first Yankee game, I think, right? As the story goes, the guy who caught it. I'm pretty sure it was like his first Yankee game.
Yeah.
So, guy at his first Yankee game literally just bought this hat and uses the hat to catch the ball. And of course, he thinks like no better than to just like give him the ball back. And the Yankees gave him some stuff. You know, they didn't let him walk away empty-handed, but he gave Lombard the ball. Lombard gives the ball to his parents. Everybody is happy.
Everybody wins.
Except Zach Hampel. Oh, man.
But do you ever think that, like, in moments like those, like, it actually is, like, you can take a step back from the fact that, like, you may have, you know, failed at your job on the field, and, like, take a step back and just feel the love for, like, baseball and the baseball community.
As the pitcher?
Like, just in general.
Or as anybody? Yeah. I mean, surely anybody else on the field was probably aware of the situation.
Yeah.
As a pitcher, absolutely not. Like, pitchers... As a pitcher, your mindset has to be different in that way. So, like, if a rookie is hitting and he doesn't have a hit yet, you don't want it to be you. Like, desperately do not want it to be you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes
goes
sense.
down. That's, like, in the record books now. Like, this guy's first major league hit was off of this guy in whatever count. And then you become, like, the negative portion of that history.
And then that stat becomes, like... forever is
like they'll go back and show that if Lombard becomes like the next Derek Jeter, they'll go back and show that first hit and it'll be him pitching in that clip.
That's a great point.
So like
that's a great point.
As a pitcher, absolutely not. Maybe like a brief moment of appreciation, but you lock right back in and go like,
and
okay,
okay,
now I have to strike the next guy out because I kind of hate myself for giving up that home run on that.
Man, I wonder how
for
the guy
hanging a breaking ball.
I wonder how
the
guy felt that gave up the back-to-back homers to Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. That feeling had to be like
must have been
awful.
a
Except
bad feeling.
you don't feel nearly as bad now that Judge has become the hitter that he is.
And
It's
Tyler
like
Austin
acceptable.
is just
The Tyler Austin one. I'm
but
a huge fan of Tyler Austin back in the day.
Yeah.
There's not many guys who also have the last name of Austin.
I was gonna say
You don't
that
see that
name
much.
sounds very familiar.
Yeah, you don't see that much.
Tyler.
Especially first name starts with a T and Austin. Like, come on.
That's crazy. Wow. No, I literally for a second I thought you were talking about Tucker, and I
No.
was like,
That was the coolest experience.
I mean, if Tucker Austin was smashing dingers for the New York Yankees, I'd be ecstatic.
I would know about it.
would you?
I hope so.
Oh my god.
But yeah, looking at today, I wasn't sure if the Yankees were going to have to face Chris Sale in this series. They refused to announce the pitchers until like late Thursday, and then it turns out Sale is going to match off with Cole today.
Should be interesting.
Should be a really good pitcher's duel. Cole has had a couple of really solid starts in a row now. Chris Sale has been good all year.
Yeah.
All year.
He's been great these past couple of years for Atlanta.
Unbelievable.
It's great stuff.
I think right now, because of the lack of Ohtani pitching, Sale is, I'm pretty sure he's the top of the list for National League Cy Young, at least for me. Maybe.
Yeah, he's up there. I mean, there's a lot of names to throw around.
I don't know how it would work now that Skubal is over in the National League.
No, but he was injured too.
Oh, true. Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
he kind of fell off, fell out of the ranking anyway.
Yeah,
That's why like Cam Schlittler got up there and then like just kind of hovered at the top of the order for the Cy Young, because there was nobody in the American League who was really pitching that.
Besides like
outstanding.
Dylan Cease. Yeah.
Yeah, and even Dylan Cease, it like wasn't that much to write home about.
No.
You know, clearly for Cam Schiller's ERA was sub-2 for the longest
It got
time.
up a little bit after his last start. But going back
They
to
were a little bumpy.
Going back to George Lombard, he's kind of been put on this scene as a savior, kind of getting that young piece to see if he can awaken something within the Yankees. They only made 2 moves at the deadline. They got Luis Garcia Jr. from the Nationals, a lefty first baseman who crushes righty pitching, and then they acquired Elliot Ramos from the San Francisco Giants, a righty outfielder who crushes lefty pitching. So the Yankees are going to continue to go with this platoon type of play, but it's really interesting for me once Bellinger, Judge, and possibly Stanton return, there's going to be a spacing issue because Stanton cannot play the outfield, and you're going to have Garcia at first base, Goldschmidt in first base when a left-handed pitcher's up, and Ben Rice is your DH. Where does Stanton go in that equation?
Yeah, this is the thing that starts to worry me about Giancarlo Stanton, because there's only a few reasons why the Yankees would make a move like this, and one of them, the most obvious one that might be the answer, is that Giancarlo Stanton's not coming back.
That's right. That's what I thought too. But he's getting
at least
some
not
action.
this year. Yeah, he's been like hitting. He's been taking live ABs off of Yankee relievers. I think he hit against Clark Schmidt last week at some point. That was the last I saw of it. But I'm getting really, really nervous about this now because they refuse to give an update on Stanton's status. Meanwhile, like, they are actually kind of giving a little bit on Judge here and there. Like, just finally got news on Aaron Judge that said he's been cleared for light activity, which, like, awesome, I guess.
Aaron Judge is a trigger word for me. We gotta move on.
How are you supposed to move on from Aaron Judge? This guy is a multiple MVP.
What was the update? You said it was a light update.
Yeah.
Judge said he's coming back.
Well,
he said it in an
well,
interview.
obviously.
Right now, this week, he's been cleared for light activity.
There we go.
Okay, great.
It's a start.
Okay,
So, like, he can run around on the field a little bit, don't make contact with anyone, and also don't swing a bat, I guess. And that's my understanding of what light activity is, unless he's, like, hitting off a tee.
I'm more when I said we can move on from Aaron Judge, I more meant like, is there anything further than that we have to talk about Aaron Judge? I was making a joke.
Okay. No. Then honestly, no, because
Yeah,
literally,
there's
this
literally nothing
conversation,
else to talk
it's gone back to this every single time we've talked about it. They're just waiting for Judge to come back. You're waiting for me to say the phrase.
The trigger phrase
Carlos
that
Rodon
awakens
is
me
making
from
a
my
start in
sleep.
AAA this week. That's going to be a huge add to the bullpen.
That's the first time we're going to see
Beautiful.
Schlittler, Rodon, Fried, and Cole pitch at the same time.
All in the same rotation.
everything-
If everybody stays healthy.
Knock on wood.
Did Max
right now.
Fried stop biting your nails or
yourself,
whatever
I
you
don't
do?
know,
I don't know.
but-
He keeps like screwing up his finger.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, I think it's like a blister or something. Wasn't it a blister for like
he had
3
a
weeks?
blister issue. He's had a couple of those in
Yeah.
his Yankee tenure so far throughout the 2 years.
No, but their pitching depth, starting rotation, excellent. The bullpen has been holding things down this year, so I wasn't even convinced that they needed to address the bullpen at the deadline.
I think maybe one arm wouldn't
It
hurt.
would have been nice considering the only 2 moves were Luis Garcia Jr. and Elliot Ramos,
Yeah.
but I think just offloading Doval and getting him out of the bullpen as an option was good enough.
That was good.
It was good enough.
I forgot
because
they
then
made that
you
move.
don't like have to go to him if everybody else is gone. You know, it'll be somebody else.
Yeah.
And at the rate he was going, anybody else would be
Would be
better than
fine.
Camilo Doval.
I remember being so excited about that move a year ago, and then
Oh yeah. No.
Just,
Believe me, people had the receipts online. They went back and they found the John Boy clips.
Yeah, the John Boy
and talking
medium
Yanks were
was
like, we got
hilarious.
Camilo Doval, and then
And
they
they're
go
like-
to now, and
yeah.
it's like Doval gets traded in the news, and they hit an even
Same reaction.
harder sally.
I remember a feeling about that with the Mets.
With who?
Like Freddie Peralta.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about. We're gonna get
Yeah.
to the Mets.
Well,
but
yeah.
But one more thing about the Yankees, not acquiring a catcher, but Austin Wells has been significantly better, at least a little bit,
He
throughout
did.
these past couple weeks. RBI
You
double in
mentioned
the
it.
ninth. That
Pretty
started a
huge
rally.
hit in the ninth.
But the Yankees also did sign Mitch Garver to a minor league deal, a guy with major league experience, has played in the postseason, coming over from Seattle after he was released. So possibly
they
could
actually
see him in the
got him.
majors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw when he got released, but I actually hadn't
They
seen
got
the
him,
news
I
that the
think,
Yankees scooped him
last
until
night,
just
I
now.
think it was. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's like 12 hours ago
Yeah.
on MLB.com.
So he might come in and replace
That's
Ali
awesome.
Sanchez off the bat.
Wow, I'm so happy about that. When I saw Garver was loose, that was like the first thing I thought to myself, where I was like, it's free.
Yeah.
It's actually open. They
Cashman,
didn't
it's
trade
in
for a
your
catcher,
hands.
but it's right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they go get Mitch Garver. Thank God. Thank God they found a way to address the catcher position. Because, yes, Austin Wells hit a double last night. That was the first thing I think I've seen him do in 2 weeks. And
he
like,
hit a homer the day of the trade deadline, too. I'm like,
I
oh,
know.
okay, there's our catcher. He's back.
I know, yeah, so it was like, oh, okay, no, now he's fine. But, like, no. Like, I have been railing against Austin Wells all year. His offense is not reliable.
If we can get just the same product that he's been producing this past week throughout the rest of the season, I'd be fine.
Assuming the Yankees lose the division but make the wild card, because I don't see the Rays like kind of falling off the way that they're playing. Game 1 of the wild card series, it has to not be Austin Wells catching. Maybe you think about like a platoon situation where you bring him in against a righty late in the game, but it cannot be him in the lineup to start Game 1 of a wild card
Well,
series.
think about this, too.
And I think Garver will probably slot right in.
We're going against Boston. They have a lot of lefty pitchers. That could work out nicely that we put in Garver in Game 1 and get that righty lineup going. So Ramos would probably in. Garcia Jr. wouldn't be in, but would probably
It
see
will
him
help with Ramos.
some point at that season. He actually had a great catch last night that kept the Braves scoreless in the 10th inning. It was a basket catch as he's just running
that's
back.
another thing I feel like people kind of underrate when it comes to Ramos. Like, he is an incredibly serviceable outfielder. And like, coming off of Jason Dominguez, who I don't really think learned how to play outfield when he was in the minor leagues, it's a much improved outfield situation even with injuries. So I like the Ramos. I actually understand a little bit more than Garcia. Garcia, I don't really know what the plan was there. It's kind of the same thing we were talking about
But
with
I think it's
Stanton, the
just
logjam.
Garcia and Goldschmidt idea, just having one versus righties, one versus lefties, have Ben Rice as your DH instead of first
and
base.
just hope Stanton doesn't get healthy.
I feel like that's a move to like say like, you know, we don't know about Stanton, and if he possibly gets re-injured again, because at this point it's just like he's made of glass.
Yeah, and then so Judge, like say if Judge comes back, he would probably when do you think he comes back? Before Bellinger, right? Surely
Bellinger's
before
like
Bellinger.
mid-September.
Bellinger's probably mid-September.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's probably
maybe the
Judge
same,
back first.
same time, honestly.
What are they looking at in the outfield then? Judge in right,
Yeah,
Grisham center, and then
Belly and left.
Well, before Belly gets back to be Ramos,
Yes,
but that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't hate that at all.
That's
Although Grisham just
he has been great.
He's been playing with like one eye closed for the last 2 weeks. I don't really know what his deal is.
I just think he can't be at the top of the lineup. I think you just got to slide him down. I think he's better when he is at the bottom of the lineup, or like towards the bottom of the lineup. But even then, he hasn't been
he's
just
better
great.
as like an unsung hero.
Yeah.
Like occasionally does something
Yeah.
really, really good, but also does the basics. Like it just takes care of the little things. Like last night, I think there was a play in short left field where a ball wound up dropping. That was more than likely his ball.
Yeah.
It's like little things like that, like little weird outfield plays. I don't know what it is. Maybe just like the general fatigue of a full season. And I think about the guy like Trent Grisham, who is not supposed to be the everyday center fielder, but he kind of has been this whole time.
And he kind of has to be now with Bellinger gone, because
Yeah.
that's the only other guy, right? Only
Well, I
other
mean,
guy who can play center.
since Judge's injury,
And
Grisham
Spencer
has been
Jones can
slid in pretty much every day.
play center
Jones
fielder, too.
can play center field, and he looks all right. He has a strong arm. I just don't trust the accuracy yet.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. So it's like I would put it like a yellow, like if they do like the green,
Yeah.
yellow, red arms. I would say Spencer Jones
Maybe.
is like a red speed, yellow accuracy.
But I gotta say, the Yankees did make a tough decision, and I'm happy that they made it, sending both Volpe and Dominguez down. They both homered actually in their first game back in the minor leagues yesterday. but I don't
That's
really
unreal.
see
Anthony
any.
Volpe has 1 home run in the major
Yeah.
leagues this year. They send him down in his first game.
First
He
at
hits a
bat.
home run.
First at bat, it was a 2-run home run. I don't think they have any spot in this team when fully healthy. Dominguez definitely. I think there's too many outfielders. I think the only way you get Volpe up is a possible platoon second baseman. You cannot take Lombard out of short unless he falls off. But they made the right move. They sent both of those guys down. A couple of trades made, and we'll see how the Yankees shape out throughout the rest of August and September before the beginning of the postseason.
I also can't believe they couldn't cash in on the Luis Garcia Jr. home run.
That
late
was
against the
that was
Cardinals.
sad. Yeah,
That was unreal. I
Yeah,
could not
that was
believe
his Yankee moment right there. But first pitch today's at 3:05 p.m. Tucker Austin on the coverage today for us. I think it's T Austin _24, right?
Yep.
On X, so make sure to follow along for his game coverage. I'll be on the coverage for tomorrow's game to close out a 3-game set against the Atlanta Braves. But for now, that's going to do it for our Yankees talk. We're going to talk about the other New York team in the Mets. That's Emma's team, so she's got a lot to say about the couple of trades they made at the deadline. But we'll be back with more one-on-one right after this break.
It's WFUV New York, public media from Fordham University, home of first listens and classic favorites. On air, online, or wherever you listen to radio.
And welcome back to One-on-One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. Anthony Smith alongside Emma Leonardi, Sam G. and Grande producing for us today. The number to call in, 718-817-2750. Again, 718-817-2750. Feel free to call in. Sam is dying to pick up the phone, and we're dying to hear some callers out here. We got Bobby Chaffardini in the building as well. Tucker Austin was alongside us. He's going to cover the New York Yankees game for us, and we have 2 pairs of Yankees tickets to give out as well on this show to Tuesday's game against the Seattle Mariners. Again, 2 pairs, so 2 tickets for each pair. And the question is, who is the youngest shortstop to start for the New York Yankees before George Lombard? Again, the number to call in to answer that question and win some Yankee tickets, 718-817-2750. But enough about the Yankees. Can't believe I'm saying that. We're going to talk about the New York Mets and Emma's favorite team. I mean, Emma, I'll let you take it away. Just thoughts on the trade deadline from the Mets selling and shipping off a couple of pieces?
I feel like it was not that bad. Like, first of all, I feel like knew Freddie Peralta was leaving. Knew that was happening.
I feel like you knew Luke Weaver was leaving, too.
Yeah, that was known. We knew, oh my God, what's his name?
Clay?
No, Brooks Raley. We knew Brooks Raley was leaving. I mean, Clay happened, like, I feel like that happened like months. I know it just happened too, but like,
but just because of the injury, you felt like it was.
Yeah,
okay,
it felt like it was like, okay, yeah, that feels like it was ages ago. I'm also happy because like he's going to the Cubs, and so I'm like happy to, I still do tune into some Cubs games because my mom's a Cubs fan, and we talk about it. So I'm still gonna get to see him, so it's all right.
Cubs are a good team to root for too, I think. Good
Cubs
Chicago team.
We had
Wrigley.
Sorry, this is a little off topic, but not too much. We had this discussion last week. I don't know if it was on air or off air, where we were like, can you be a fan of multiple teams in one sport?
You could like other teams. I think you're a passionate fan for one.
Agreed.
Unless you don't like the sport as much. Like,
yeah.
if I, for say, like, wasn't a big fan of MLB, but I say, I just like the Yankees because I'm in New York, I could do that. But I think I could also, like a team like, I'm just going to say the Padres because I like the Padres. They're probably like my second, third favorite team in baseball.
Yeah. That's exactly my point. My whole point.
You can just root for them. And I think it's good to have that. You can root for them when they're in the playoffs.
Exactly. I can't remember who was, like, dogging on me for this. I mean, Grace, my roommate Grace McCarron, shout out Grace. She also is one of the assistant sports managers here at WFUV. I think of her as roommate Grace. But she was like, her and I have had this argument forever.
She's not a fan of it?
Specifically about baseball, where she's like, Emma, you can't, because we're both Mets fans, and she's like, Emma, you can't also like another baseball team. But I'm like, you can't tell me I can't like the Cubs.
Well, I think like and passionate fan is
like
two different
and
things.
Passionate fan are two different things. Like, I'm not religiously watching Cubs games like I am watching Mets games. Like,
No,
I'm tuning in every once in a while.
I don't watch Padres games either. I just like.
It's just
actually I don't even like watch or kind of pay attention. I'm just like, oh, I see something, but good for them.
Good for them. Yeah. And I'm like, if the Mets aren't playing, like, I want the Cubs to win whatever game they're playing. Like, as long as it's not against the Mets. Because I also, again, Wrigley Field at 5 weeks old. You can't not be a Cubs. Like, at least a little bit of a Cubs fan. Not nearly to the point where I'm a Mets fan, but like, you can't.
No, it's nowhere close.
I feel like it's valid.
It's like this and like this.
Exactly. And I feel like that's valid. Anyway, that was my mini rant about that. But all that to say, I'm still happy with like the Clay Holmes. Like, obviously as a Mets fan, it is sad to see him go, but I still get to watch him. I still get to hear about him. So that's the bright side of that. I feel like there were just so many moves. I'm like going back through my notes on all of them. Tyrone Taylor also went to the Cubs.
Yeah.
That was
a big deal. A couple of moving pieces there for both teams.
Yeah, that was a very interesting one. I feel like I knew that like Tyrone Taylor or even like Luis Torrens or why are my names?
You're thinking about
today?
Cubs players probably.
I'm not thinking about. You're right, because I'm saying. You're so right. But I feel like there were other people that I was like, okay, it's gonna be one of these people, and Tyrone Taylor was definitely in there, and so that doesn't surprise me as much. It hurts more than Clay Holmes, I would say, just because like I would say I was more familiar with Tyrone Taylor when they like both were on the Mets. I was just like more familiar with him. I was seeing him more often, and obviously like, being in the lineup, it's like you're rooting for him, and like, so, and with pitchers, because they're changing so often, like, it is, like, I feel like I get more attached to people, like, batters instead of pitchers.
Yeah.
So, but both of them are going to the Cubs. They'll be great. It'll be fine. And then, again, as I said, Freddie Peralta, everybody saw that coming. He went to the Rays, and then AJ Minter also saw that coming. Brooks Raley also saw it coming. Those were, like, the pitcher duo where we were like, both of them are like, I was sitting in the Mets press box like after one of the games, and I'm hearing the other like reporters talking, and like everybody was
just
like,
new.
They're both going, it's just where are they going?
Yeah.
So you got Minter to the Twins, you got Raley to the Phillies. That one hurt. One hurt. I hate the Phillies.
I was talking with my boss about that yesterday. He's like, oh, you saw we gave up a pitcher to the Phillies. I'm like, who? And I'm like, I struggled to like think about it. I kept naming every name besides Raley, and then I'm looking through it this morning. I'm like, really? And I texted him. He's like, yep, that's him.
Yeah.
He's like, he's a double agent or whatever the double agent I think is the saying he said.
Yeah, I think so. He was so nice. Like, I think it was his last game with the Mets, to be honest. I was there reporting, and we talked to him post game, and he came in after he wasn't the starting pitcher. He came in after McLean. He came after McLean, and he was wearing a shirt post game that said Lightning McLean on it. And he was talking all about community, and it was a complete reflection on his time with the Mets, and it was so heartwarming and kind of beautiful. I was I'm gonna cry. This is really nice. That's I feel that's everybody I really thought was notable who we gave away. Obviously we also gave away Brazaban, but that one I feel long time coming. It was just not right. He went to the White Sox, which is also funny. My grandparents are White Sox fans. So I'm everyone's going to these teams that I actually do hear about consistently because, yeah. But I mean, I don't know how much you've been reading up on the Mets.
I've paid attention to some of the moves they made. Obviously, Freddie Peralta was a name that was thrown in the mix. I don't know if I was thinking Tampa Bay. I thought more maybe he can go back to Milwaukee. Kind of like the similar move that the Mets made a couple years ago with Verlander, signing him from Houston and then sending him back to Houston that same season.
Yeah.
Peralta struggled, though, in his first start with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
At Colorado, 3 2/3, 9 hits allowed, 7 runs. So it was a rough outing for him in his first appearance with the Tampa Bay Rays. One name that was thrown into the mix, a big name for the Mets, but was not traded, was Francisco Lindor.
Don't even get me started on this because I literally, sorry I interrupted you, but that was the most ridiculous fan campaign of all time because every fan was convinced he was getting traded, and I was there's no way.
I wasn't fully. I mean, obviously I'm not a Mets fan. I wasn't fully convinced that he's getting traded, but obviously there was talks, and I thought if they get a good deal that they could do it, but it was gonna be tough because their asking price I feel would be a lot for Lindor, even though he's not the same player he was 2 years ago.
No, he's definitely not the same player he was 2 years ago, but I think that the way that fans were just absolutely on him about oh, he's done nothing and he should get traded and whatever. He's, first of all, he's my favorite Mets player. He's that's the jersey that I have is his jersey. I love
that would have
him.
been heartbreaking.
Oh, it would have been heartbreaking. I would have had to go buy another jersey and it would have I think I would have literally gone and bought another jersey and just gotten no name on it. Just gotten a basic Mets jersey because I seriously it would be too heartbreaking to
it's
wear.
A safe pick, yeah.
It would be too heartbreaking to wear a Lindor jersey if he got traded, but I would need to wear some sort of jersey. So, but I can't just
I probably have to get a new Yankees jersey. I literally just wear Anthony Volpe every time, and obviously that just hasn't been going well the past 2 years.
Yeah, you might need to get a new one.
That's it.
Might need to get a new one.
I was thinking Bellinger.
I was that's a good one.
Because
I like that.
I said to myself
like that.
when he was playing in the 2021 NLCS, and this is so random. It was 5-2, dodged down by 3. I said, if Bellinger hits a home run here, I'll buy a jersey of him. And it was an LA jersey, or any jersey. And he hit one out, and I still never followed up on that. So I feel now I got to do it because
now you got to do it because he's a Yankee.
But
yeah.
I got to,
yeah,
get the money for it. The jerseys are expensive.
Yeah. But going back to Lindor, it seemed ridiculous. Even I was following on SNY when they were reporting on it, and they never once thought it was not I mean, anything's a possibility, I guess, but they never once were convinced that it would actually happen. Every time that they would put out something where it was players likely to get traded versus not likely, he was always a no. It was not a maybe. I also was just especially with Soto being injured, you can't you need someone who I know there's been discussions about things and between the two of them specifically in the clubhouse, but you can't deny that the two of them have they are mentors for players who are even just even if they're players who have been playing on other teams for a while and are just coming to the Mets, they're still mentors for becoming a part of the Mets community. And
especially Lindor, the amount of years he's been in New York.
Oh, 100%. And when you think Lindor, I think when you think the Mets, you think Lindor. When you think Lindor, you think the Mets. I feel there is a certain point where you can't just have somebody around for nostalgia. and like you can't just have somebody around for like the fact that they bring community. You need to also get results on the field. But I do still think fans are way too hard on him for what he's done this year, given the fact that like he has historically been so good to us, and he also like in like most of the games I've gone to and reported on, I don't know if it's just because, you know, it's me and he's my favorite player and there's some like kind of universe magic going on there, but he's done things in like every game I've been to. like so I'm like, he's still doing things, he's still trying, and like a lot of people in our lineup aren't even getting on base, and he's at least like getting on base or trying to do.
Tucker Austin has left the building.
Austin has left the building.
It's so sad. It's a sad departure.
Had to
We
pause.
traded him to the New York Yankees.
Anyway, so I just thought it was a ridiculous conversation, but that's a whole rant about that.
Yeah.
Someone who I'm happy let's talk about happy news. Someone I'm happy who's coming to the Mets, Sammy Stefura, who is coming from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was traded for Luke Weaver. He plays shortstop. Obviously, that's Lindor's position, so you know it's going to be interesting to see the field placement with that one. But he's a Mets fan, and there's like records of him, like the Mets posted on their Instagram. There's records of him DMing the Mets before he was even a player in the majors, saying, "Can I throw at the first pitch?"
I'd be careful with those Mets or those players that are fans of your team. We had the same thing, very similar situation with Anthony Volpe.
It's you have to like balance it, but it is a very like, and I'm like, obviously like you have to see how he is actually on the field and with the team, but it was just a very heartwarming story. And he's like, you know, he's a younger guy, and it was nice to see, like, even when you're giving away these like people who you have like known and loved, like Luke Weaver. I literally, every time I would go to a game, I would see in like the pregame like notes, I would see something about Luke Weaver, and I'd be like, oh, there he is. Now he's not there.
Yeah.
But at least like you're getting someone who at least cares. I feel like that's been a big thing for the Mets, is feeling like players don't care. Specifically older players who have been like traded or have signed with the Mets, feeling like they don't care. I feel like that's been a big thing. At least for me with Bo Bichette, that might be controversial, but I felt like every time like he comes to bat, it's like, does he actually care, or is he just waiting to like leave, basically? And that's like not trying to like dog on Bo Bichette. It is what it is, and Mets fans have been really mean to him. I mean, New Yorkers are just, I think
They're just cruel people
they're
sometimes.
they're
with
cruel
their
people
sports, yeah.
sometimes with their sports and with even their team, especially
The
their team
Yankees with Joey
sometimes.
Gallo.
Yeah,
That was a mess.
and it's like, it's like I do feel bad for him in some aspects, but it's also like, do you care to like change that perception of you from Mets fans? And like again, some of it's unfair because it is like a very, very high expectation, but you're also getting paid so much money, and there were a lot of expectations placed on you, and I'm not saying that that's fair to you, but like, come on, like, do you care? So it's nice to see somebody come in who you know cares about the team, and cares about like the legacy of the team. So I think that was like the standout one for me, just because of the story behind it. I'm a very big person into like, I'm a very big like personality hire story person. You know, obviously, as I said, it has to translate to on the field, but the story behind that one was just, I thought it was awesome. You know, we got another shortstop from the Cubs for Clay Holmes and Tyrone Taylor. Which beefing up the shortstop material does make me scared for Lindor's future. That does actually make
Maybe
me
after
scared.
this offseason.
Yeah, because I'm like, I didn't think he was going to get traded like this trade deadline, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with him, because the fact that you're beefing up your shortstops it does not make me feel great. I don't think it's going to be like imminent, but I do think that if he doesn't, again, he's performing, but like if he doesn't perform to the level that they
expect out of him,
then I feel like it's going to be
definitely
wraps.
something this offseason too.
Yeah. Then you got some pitchers, and like I'm like,
Yeah.
we need pitchers. We'll see how they fare. I feel like our pitching has just been so interesting. Like it's either been really like bad or it's been pretty good. I would say like I went to a game recently where, like, reporting on it, where Kodai Senga was starting pitching. And he was like, it's been very interesting to see pitchers, and he's just one example, but it was just very interesting for me to, like, see him. You kind of got to see, like, a little bit of the old Senga back, and I'm wondering if that happens with other players who are not even pitchers, like Lindor and stuff like that, like where you get to see a little bit of, like, the old them in their playing. And then also you have Thornton, so I feel like, you know, he's new, but he's been really good this season so far, and he's been good so far in the major leagues. Like, he just started, but he's been good. I feel good about that. So I feel like the trade overall, it was pretty good.
They got rid of a lot of pieces.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been better, but I think that I'm gonna take the win on the it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. They lost 3 out of 4 to the Marlins to close their homestand this past weekend, and then they swept the Guardians on the road and beat the Pirates in Game 1 of a 3-game stand yesterday. They play Game 2 at PNC later today at 6:40 p.m. They're kind of a worse version of the Toronto Blue Jays, where they're a little bit more games out of a wild card spot with 11.
Yeah.
But there's just a whole bunch of teams in the mix, and so many things have to go right that it just doesn't feel like it will, and it's just been such inconsistent baseball, and it's such a rough spot to be in for them. But
it really is.
That's going to do it for our baseball talk, closing it out with the New York Mets. We're going to switch it over to the gridiron, finally talking about some NFL and training camp news and reports and all that fun stuff right after this break here on One on One.
Hey, Yankees fans! Join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And don't miss Cody Bellinger Bobblehead Night, presented by T-Mobile. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will take home an exclusive Cody Bellinger bobblehead. Get here early, grab the giveaway, and cheer on the Bronx Bombers. Tickets are available now at yankees.com/tickets.
I'm Isabella Terracini.
And I'm Barrett Spreitzer. We're two of your hosts for College Gridiron, the exclusive home for all things college football on WFUV Sports.
Join us as we break down the biggest matchups of the week, Heisman hopefuls, and college football playoff previews.
Listen in on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Hey, Yankees and Knicks fans! Come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 25th, and be ready to receive a very special giveaway. It's Josh Hart Yankees Bobblehead Night, presented by Delta Airlines. The first 18,000 guests will receive a Josh Hart Yankees bobblehead. Again, don't miss Josh Hart Yankees Bobblehead Night, presented by Delta Airlines, when the Yankees face the Orioles on Friday, September 25th. For tickets, log on to yankees.com/tickets.
Welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. Anthony Smith joined alongside Emily Leonardi. Sam Giangrande is behind the board. Bobby Giaffredini in the building for us today. 718-817-2750 is the number. Again, 718-817-2750. A couple of Yankee ads playing. We've got 2 pairs of Yankee tickets to give away. Tuesday's game against the Seattle Mariners, August 11th. Again, if you can answer this question, who is the youngest shortstop to start for the New York Yankees before George Lombard after making his appearance last week? But let's talk about the NFL. I'm itching for the new season to start. The Hall of Fame game was just a couple days ago. Panthers and Cardinals playing a great game to begin the preseason slate, a 33-30 final with the Panthers coming out with a win. Good things for both teams. Haynes King from Georgia Tech on Carolina, not going to get action this season, but good to see he's a reliable backup maybe if they need him. Threw for 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. And for Arizona, this is a lot more interesting considering that Carson Beck, their rookie, had a great game as well. 188 yards and a touchdown for him, only 4 incompletions. So he balled out for Arizona, and it seemed like he could maybe get some legitimate starting time this season, where it looked like the Cardinals, after their training camp videos, they've had some struggles, and it looked like that it was going to be a long season, but if they can get Carson Beck some playing time, he's got a lot of college experience. I think definitely down the road he can get some wins for Arizona, and they can kind of build off of him. But again, this is all the preseason, so it all depends what happens in the regular season.
Yeah, I liked seeing like such a close game, especially in like the preseason. Like, it's again, preseason and like the actual regular season are so different, and it is hard to kind of make a full prediction based on just preseason games. But this was a great way to like, I feel like, start, that push into fall football. And like I feel like it felt like football is coming back. It's getting to be fall. I love that time of year. I love, Grace is a big Giants fan, so I love like going and sitting on the couch with her on Sundays and like just watching random NFL games. It's lovely.
And watching the Giants usually lose, but things are looking upwards. We'll get into the New York Giants talk after this, but we've got Jahmyr Gibbs signing a 3-year contract worth up to $75 million, making him the highest paid running back in the league of the Detroit Lions. Looking to have yet another great season. He's got 3 straight years with double-digit touchdowns, back-to-back seasons with 1K rushing, and the Lions have their guy, and he's going to be a threat on the offensive side. That's really all the news for contract extensions or anything like that. We had Stephon Diggs sign with the Washington Commanders, returning home. The Commanders recently lost Deebo Samuel, so this is a good move for Washington. Get another veteran piece in their receiving core. Jaden Daniels entering his 3rd year, but just good to have a veteran presence like Stephon Diggs. After just playing in a Super Bowl, he played with Drake May. So Drake May and Jaden Daniels the same year in the NFL. And Diggs, a University of Maryland alumni, so it's good to see him come back home. And Emma, I know you love the feel-good stories, so this has definitely got to feel good
I
for you.
love the feel-good stories. I was like reading about this last night actually, and like the way that he says he's ready to put on for my city. Like that, and especially because I'm from DC. I mean, I'm not a Commanders fan actually. I would say if I had to like pick a specific NFL team, it's actually the Packers, which is a whole story, but my dad's from like Michigan, but he went to Wisconsin, so Packers. But that's a little off topic. But it's nice to see. I feel like DC. I've definitely talked about this on air or on a podcast before, but DC has, to me, never historically been a football like city. Like I don't feel like anybody's really walking around talking about the Commanders all the time, and I feel like this could be a turning point. Like having somebody who's from the area, who is ready to perform for you, ready to like make these pushes for you, and knowing that you're connected geographically is just, I feel like that is very nice, and like that does. I think it has the power to make a lot more people tune into the Commanders this year. Again, just that it depends on if you're like a feel good story person or not. But I feel like in general, I think it's just gonna be very interesting. I'm very interested to see what he does. I'm very interested to see how he fits in. Yeah.
And the Commanders coming off a season where they struggled heavily. The record, maybe 5 or 4 wins is what they had. They were towards the bottom after making the playoffs the season before and making it to the NFC Championship game. So maybe a move that gets them back in the right direction. Obviously, a lot of injuries last season as well, specifically with their QB, Jaden Daniels. Yeah. And speaking of Stephon Diggs, his former team, Buffalo, they recently traded for DJ Moore this past offseason, who has so far reportedly had an impressive camp. And it's good to see that Josh Allen may have found his go-to guy and a guy that he can trust, because really the last time he's had a guy that he can trust, Khalil Shakir is obviously great, but he's more of a slot receiver type guy. The last guy that he could really throw up the ball to and trust was Stephon Diggs. So it's good to see an MVP candidate, Josh Allen, kind of get that true receiver one that he needs going into another pivotal season.
Yeah.
And over in the Las Vegas area, some scuffles in training camp. And I honestly didn't believe this report at first, but then looking into it, saw a lot of trusted sources. Kirk Cousins, right now the starter in camp over Fernando Mendoza, the first-round pick of the NFL draft, getting into some scuffles with Max Crosby on the defensive side. And that's no shock. I think Max Crosby definitely loves to get in the quarterback's head with the punches he throws. Not like actual punches, but the soft punches he throws at the QB when he's rushing. And I think that's what stirred this up between him and Cousins. And honestly, it's very surprising. Kirk Cousins to me, Emma, and I don't know if you agree on this or not, but he doesn't seem like the type of guy to get in scuffles. I mean, he's yelled at a couple guys before, but he's in the veteran part of his career, and I think that's what he leans more towards to. So this is why it really threw me off that he was a little bit in a fight with Crosby.
I feel like with any vet, except for like the characters who are like gonna go out and like say and like do crazy things and be ridiculous. Not saying that this scuffle was ridiculous. I have no idea what it was over. So it could have been something serious. But you see, I feel like vets just in general across any sport getting into less altercations, especially like with your own teammate. Like that I don't know, that really like it gets me. And it also like it's again I feel like it has to be. I have no idea what the scuffle was. I'm pondering over here as to what it could be. I feel like it had to have been serious because he does seem to have more of a like stoic nature to him and not gonna like entertain that. But it also is just, how does that bode for your team? Like, how does that bode for teamwork and for like, especially with football? I feel like obviously we have so many team sports that we cover here, but I feel like football is so like, especially because you're so physically close to each other and you're in each other's space all the time. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. I feel like, especially when the actual regular season starts, I'm gonna be interested to see how they can work together, especially following this.
I really think something's gonna wash away from this. I think Kirk Cousins, obviously the veteran, he'll fix it up. I was honestly very surprised too that he's the starter right now in camp, considering Mendoza and the season he had over at Indiana. He's reportedly bounced back after having a rough weekend, so good to see him get going. And I think Crosby as well. I think besides that, all behind the game, he truly is a good guy that respects the game of football, and he'll respect the players as well. The only thing that occurs to me with Kirk Cousins is, I don't know if you've seen this clip, Emma, with him in his Washington days where he leaves after a comeback win and he goes to the reporters, "You like that? You like that?" I mean, so there's like a little fire in him, but I feel like he's kind of washed away from that. We haven't seen that as much. And in the veteran role he is now, just mentoring Fernando Mendoza, I'd imagine that he kind of stays calm for those type of moments, but that's definitely something I'm going to monitor and something to monitor.
Well, it also, looking at like reports from like NFL.com, they're talking about how, again, not like saying necessarily the nature of the scuffle, but also saying like that the two of them they're two leaders. And I think we were just talking about this with the Mets. Like Sono Lindor, you do see tension. And again, I also don't know the nature of that tension, like to its core, but I would have to assume that some of it has to do with being two very strong, like, and in that leader mentality. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what happens.
And you've seen every quarterback kind of have their own separate reaction. Patrick Mahomes got into a scuffle with him a couple of years ago, and I think every quarterback's got to know, and they got to prepare for it in training camp or right of the week of that. That Max Crosby, his main goal is just trolling the quarterback and just trying to get into the head. And I think that Kirk Cousins should kind of understand that, especially in training camp with he's got the younger guy watching over him. But we'll move on from the Raiders. Talk about the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders continue to rotate practices with the starters. No starting quarterback has been named, but they've been getting some solid reps. Shedeur Sanders, obviously a starter on the back end of last season. Deshaun Watson has not played in quite a while, so I'm really interested to see what route the Browns go down. If they trust the guy that got them through the back half of the season that showed some signs of he can be a franchise guy, or Deshaun Watson, who in year is not nowhere near the player he was down in Houston.
Yeah.
But that's a decision for Todd Monken, and I don't really know what the good decision is here to make, because Deshaun Watson has not played in quite a while, and he's nowhere ever since he came to Cleveland. He's nowhere near the player he was for Houston, where he's evading sacks all the time. And I don't know, Shedeur Sanders, I feel like it's good to maybe get him some playing time, but I could see them going the veteran role as well.
Yeah, I feel like it. My personal opinion is it should be Shedeur. I feel like it just like makes, especially with like Watson not having, as you said, like not having played in a while. Like I feel like it is just the right call. Yeah, I feel like there's not much more I can say about that. Like again, it's not up to me, but I feel like that feels right to me.
And over in Indianapolis, I think we talked about Daniel Jones before the show as well. He's looked really good in camp, 8 months removed from his Achilles surgery. So he's been bouncing back and is going to be the starter this year for the Colts, who had a very successful season last year, but because of the injury, kind of fell off after having an 8-2 start, I believe it was. So I wonder if the Colts are going to go back to that same way they had when Daniel Jones was the quarterback. Obviously, a lot of question marks with him because of his Giants tenure, and then comes over to Indianapolis after spending some time with Minnesota and just performs like an MVP. And obviously the injury is going to affect that, and you don't know if he's going to play the same, but obviously some good signs here from training camp throughout these first couple of weeks for Daniel Jones.
What do you think about the Taylor Britt suspension?
What was that?
So I think it just happened, actually, because I didn't see this when I was, like, doing all my research before the show, but Cam Taylor Britt has been suspended for the Colts season opener. 1-game suspension for violating personal conduct policy.
Oh, yeah, that was like 20 hours ago.
Yeah, so that's new.
And he's a good player, too.
Yeah.
And the Colts had a good defense, so that, I mean, it's only 1 week, obviously.
Yeah.
So it really won't, I think, affect him as much.
Thankfully, in football, 1 week is just 1 game.
Yeah.
like you don't have to, miss
the rough part about that is that they're going against Baltimore.
Yeah.
And Baltimore, obviously, a powerhouse in the NFL, so it's going to be hard to try and take him down. But Baltimore really has a struggle with their receiving core, so I think that they could survive this first week. Also, they're at home, too.
Yeah.
So I think that could be good for them. Kyler Murray continuing to lead the competition for starting QB in Minnesota over J.J. McCarthy, entering his 3rd year now. Again, season-ending injury in year 1. A lot of struggles last year as the starting quarterback for the Vikings, along with some more injury issues as well. And I think that this role is definitely going to go to Kyler Murray, and it seems like he's just got that veteran presence in him. He's a first-round pick in 2019, and it doesn't feel like he's been playing that long in the NFL, but he really has. And you can just see the difference between these two quarterbacks in their answers on, what it's been like to be going side by side. And Emma, I'm not sure if you saw this, but Kyler Murray with a more professional answer, the meaty answer, and J.J. McCarthy saying it's like 2 kids in a classroom. Like, it's just a kind of unprofessional answer, and it kind of shows the lack of leadership that J.J. McCarthy has in the early part of his career. And I think that this role is definitely going to go to Kyler Murray, and I think that he could honestly have a good year for Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach, really seems to figure out quarterbacks when they struggle most. Daniel Jones went over there, and he kind of fixed them, and he was great in Indianapolis. Sam Darnold, obviously, before he went to Seattle and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how Kyler Murray performs in the purple. And then some sad news on the injury side for the 49ers. Ricky Pearsall, season-ending injury before the season even starts. And that just, you hate to see that. He's going into his 3rd year, and he's had a lot of injury issues. He's had a rough start to his NFL career, not statistically speaking, but just the injury.
Yeah.
The injuries have really killed him. And they've really been banged up, this receiving core. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, 2 guys that recently joined the team, have been dealing with some injury issues in training camp, but they signed Deebo Samuel. He comes back to San Francisco, and I think more importantly for 49ers that they have to get a lot of depth at the receiving position, because it seems like almost every season that this team is banged up.
Yeah. God, that's awful. Seriously, you hate to see it with anyone, like in any sport. I feel like, unless they're like an awful person, but you just, that's heartbreaking. Like, that's so sad. I have a question for you, Anthony, which is, do you have any game this season, not just preseason, obviously, I'm talking regular season, that you're like really excited to see?
There's a lot of good ones on the list. I got to say Patriots Seahawks opening game in week. I'm going to go to the week 1 schedule and see it, but Patriots Seahawks, obviously a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
Is great to see, but there's a lot, like, I can't name off the top of my head.
Yeah. I am very excited for the Packers-Bears Christmas Day game.
I think Packers-Bears always is great stuff.
Oh, it's always electric. And on Christmas Day, that's crazy.
Especially after the 3 very close games that they played last year.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be so interesting. Like, and again, I just keep thinking like Christmas Day, 1 p.m. Christmas Day, like that's a crazy matchup.
I know that the Rams and the Broncos play at some point this season. I think that's definitely going to be interesting, especially just because Bo Nix hurt in the last game of the divisional round against Buffalo, and he can't play in the championship game against the Patriots to book a trip to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I want to see if he gets back on track this season after having an excellent year 2 with Denver, and obviously the Rams. They're the LA team. They're almost like the Dodgers, especially after getting Myles Garrett. Aaron Donald might be coming back. He was working out with the team, and they already have such a good defense that before they added Myles Garrett, then you had Myles Garrett, the best defensive player in the game. You had one of the former best defensive players in the game, in Aaron Donald. And this team is just disgusting. And then they traded for McDuffie from the Chiefs too. The offense is great with their veteran quarterback Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua as their lead receiver. I'm looking at week 5 right now when they play Buffalo on Monday Night Football. That week is just phenomenal too. We got Green Bay and Chicago playing at 4:25 in Lambeau that game that week as well. There's a lot of games across the board that really like draw my mind. It's just I remember seeing when the schedule came out. Seattle's got a lot of good games on the schedule too, but I just gotta say the teams that I'm always looking forward to see is the Rams and the Bills. I feel like they've had really respectfully good teams these past couple of years. Denver as well.
Yeah.
It's always good to see the Giants go up against those top competitors as well.
And lose.
And mostly lose, but if they have a good game, it's fun.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, these like I'm looking through and I don't see like a singular week where I'm like, like I don't really like. Obviously, I'm gonna be tuning in. If not, at the very least for WFUV, but also just personal interest. But yeah, there's not a single week where I'm like, there's not a matchup where I'm interested in.
Yeah. So week 3, Sunday Night Football, Rams at the Broncos.
I'm with you. Yeah. I like that.
But
I like that a lot.
When I was watching last year, it felt like almost every week there was a game that could have been qualified as a game of the week, and it was really just a peak season last year. I think the only thing that maybe ruined it from being one of the best seasons that I've ever seen was honestly the playoffs. There was the wild card round was some of the best football that I think I've ever watched. I think once it got to the later stages, Patriots Broncos in the AFC Championship game, it was like a 10-7 game. It was defensive. It was snowing. Bo Nix was out. That was a struggle to watch, and obviously the Super Bowl as well. It wasn't really close, although it was close in the score. It felt like the Seahawks kind of just were running away with the game the whole entire time just because of how strong their defense is. And I mean, it's going to be tough to try and knock them off again this year. This defense remained the same. They've got a lot of great players, and Jackson Smith-Njigba on the offensive side is going to continue to play his game. Sam Darnold now with that veteran experience, having a Super Bowl under his belt.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a tough team to beat, but the Rams are definitely qualifying because they seem to be reloading after that NFC Championship loss. So I'm excited to see those two go at it again as well. But that's going to do it for this segment. We're going to talk Giants, Jets. Giants first right after this break here on One on One.
Hi, I'm Mary Hawthorne, one of your hosts on WFUV's tennis podcast, Cross the Line. From breakdowns of majors to courtside U.S. Open coverage, we've got you covered on all things tennis from the ATP and WTA. Tune in to weekly episodes of Cross the Line on YouTube and featured segments on One on One. Cross the Line, WFUV's home court for tennis.
Hi, I'm Ashley Went, one of your hosts for FUVFC, WFUV's best, if not only podcast for all things soccer. From insight from beat reporters for all of New York soccer clubs to breakdowns of all the major leagues and events from the international pitch to right here in the States. Tune in weekly as we discuss all things soccer on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week on FUVFC, a product of WFUV.
Welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. The number to call in, 718-817-2750. Again, 718-817-2750. Me and Emma are dying to talk to some people right now.
Yes.
Sam is just asking us. He wants to answer the phone behind the board. But we'll get into the discussion about the New York Giants and their training camp experience. Obviously, a big narrative going into this year. I almost said his brother's name, John Harbaugh, the new head coach of the New York Giants, and things have been a little bit different in training camp. I mean, I guess I'll start out with the obvious, and Jackson Dart, going into his second year in the NFL, has struggled a little bit in training camp, and this is a big question that I've seen on social media and throughout all Giants fans everywhere. Has it been a credit to the defense, or has it been something that the offense just really needs to fix and start to get going?
I feel like I know literally the whole point of training camp and then preseason is to get an idea for what the season's going to look like, but I firmly just believe that it could be wildly different. What you see in training camp and what you see in the preseason, it could literally be so different from what happens in the actual regular season. So I think, I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he transitions, especially since, their first preseason game is the 15th. Is that right?
I have it somewhere.
Okay.
Yes, it's a week from today.
Yeah. So a week from today, against the Vikings. I think it's gonna be interesting I just think it's gonna be interesting to see how it transitions to on field. Obviously you're on the field during training camp, but I mean on field, in a game against a different team. Right now you're training with your team, and I feel like that can be. It's just so different. It's such a different environment, and I'm not a football player, but I would assume that things that go wrong in training camp aren't necessarily correlated to what can go wrong in the regular season, and that goes both ways. There can be things that go wrong in training camp and then they don't go wrong in the regular season. There can be things that go great, and you could be whoa, this guy, he's really working in training camp, and then regular season falls off.
Yeah, I think preseason football will separate these guys. I think that's exactly what John Harbaugh said.
Yeah.
But I think that the Giants should feel great about how the defense has played, especially under a new defensive coordinator and the struggles they had on the defensive side last year. They have such a talented roster defensively, but Shane Bowen, as the defensive coordinator last year, kind of had a rough go at it and then was fired almost more than midway through the season. So it's good to see now in training camp that they're getting good reviews, but obviously you want to see the offense pick it up a little bit. I saw Patrick Ricard, the fullback of the New York Giants, say something about that it's different than how it actually is in training camp, that the coaches score something and that the offense actually has been winning. So that's definitely interesting to hear. It's also good to see that banter between kind of both sides, both offensive and defensively, and we'll talk more about the offense. Malik Neighbors, an active participant in practice. Great news for the Giants, especially after him recovering from a torn ACL in October. There was obviously speculation about if he's going to be playing week 1, and all signs point to that he could be on that week 1 team right there for New York. I know definitely Cam Scadaboo will be. I think that's been confirmed for a while. I think he said it himself, and he seems to be recovering just fine after his injury he suffered midway through the season. I think the big question mark just comes from Malik Neighbors and the rest of this receiving core as well. Not that it's bad. I think it's just too many.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got Neighbors. They've got their second-round draft pick, Malachi Fields, Braxton Berrios, Juju Smith-Schuster, signing Darnell Mooney and Calvin Austin. They've had Darius Slayton. They've had Jalen Hyatt, Isaiah Hodgins, signing OBJ. And then Dalen Cambray has been moving up the ranks a little bit, according to John Harbaugh, a guy who's in his second year of his career and has just had an excellent camp. And it's going to be tough to try and narrow it down and see which guys make the roster, but you can never have too many receivers. And I think there's so many guys on here that could be valuable to New York. Obviously, you want Neighbors, you want Fields, you want to keep those guys. Those are your young guys.
Yeah.
I really would like to see the Giants keep OBJ, and he's been active, and he's been great in practice, and really has a great shot of making the roster. He's been elevated to first-team work. And then I'd rather see Darnell Mooney. I know he's got some receiver 2 potential, and Calvin Austin. I'd love to see those guys make the team. I think Darius Slayton will probably make it as well. But this is kind of a similar situation to what the Yankees have in the outfield. Once those guys are fully healthy, it's kind of where do these pieces go? And it's exactly the same thing here with the Giants and their receiving core.
Yeah, no, for sure. What do you think of, trying to lighten the mood a little bit, what do you think of Neighbors and Dart's handshake?
I love it. I wasn't aware of it until Tucker showed it today that it's the Dart, but I know the Jets had something that was really cool, and I got to admit, I think it was Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers where they had like the cigarette, and then they would end it on their shoulder. But that's really cool just to see Dart have that with his receiver. They only had one game. Actually, it wasn't even a full game. Neighbors got hurt in the second quarter of Jackson Dart's first start, so it's good to see those guys already having a connection before the preseason even starts. I know Dart is really big on the celebrations, and it seems like he really goes out of his way to have celebrations with certain guys like Theo Johnson, their backup tight end, and Abdul Carter on the other side, on the defensive side when they had the Star Wars thing last year. So Jackson Dart is being a great vibes guy right now, and it's good to see that in his second year, just trying to connect with this team, kind of create a bond.
Yeah.
And switching over to Abdul Carter, their first-round pick from last year, has been dominating camp early, picking up where he left off in the second half of the season. He kind of struggled in the first half, and he had high expectations going into that season, but in the second half he started creating a lot more pressure, had a couple more sacks, and he's been great so far in camp. And that's good to see, especially because of the amount of pieces that the Giants have on the defensive side. Brian Burns, a guy, double-digit sacks. Yeah. You have Arvo Reese, who they just picked as well this past draft. So if they can have all these guys come together, be at their best, I think this Giants defense can seriously be top 5, maybe even top 3.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's, fan optimism. Like, I genuinely, I'm not necessarily a Giants fan. But I mean, I'm seeing the pieces come together. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the vision. And yeah, it's a good vision if everybody stays healthy and well and together, and there's no, scandalous things happening. like nobody, the ACL tear makes me this is an offhanded comment, but the ACL tear is that terrifies me. That's top feared injury.
It sucks that it's such a common injury in football, because it's just I feel like most players, I think not neighbors, I think a couple players just, when it happens, they know it happens, and they're it's gonna be a long process to try and get back to the player you even were before.
Yeah.
Especially for receivers and running backs. That's what scares me a little bit, that I wonder if Neighbors is ever gonna be the same, although we've seen a short sample of just not even 2 years. It was a year and 4 games, but there was some great stuff. When he's healthy, he really, and I hope this isn't the optimism either, but I think really when he is healthy and at his best, I think he could be a top 5 receiver in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the LSU speaking in him. I think he's got a similar play style to Jamar Chase of the Bengals, both coming from LSU, Justin Jefferson as well.
Yeah.
He's a freak athlete, and I got to give credit to Brian Dable that he picked Neighbors and he picked Jackson Dart. He's kind of set us up here.
Yeah.
And although he's with another team, I got to say he still loves this franchise, and he's really set us up for a successful year here, but it's a tough schedule when you look at it.
Yeah.
Their first preseason game, obviously we mentioned a week from today, against the Minnesota Vikings at home. They got a couple games of preseason. I think it's really going to separate what kind of receivers
they
and
got their last
the rest of the
preseason.
depth who can stick on this team.
Their last preseason is against the Jets. So we got New York.
I think I know they always play every year, but I don't know if they play the last. I think they do play the last game.
I was gonna say I feel like I mean you would know better than I do as a Giants fan, but I was gonna say like don't they play each other every preseason?
Yeah, I think I know they do, but I just don't know if it's.
I like that it's
the last game.
one.
I think it is the last game.
Well, it's the last
sometimes
one.
it might be the first.
It's the last one this year.
Yeah.
But I love that. Like I love that. That's the. Isn't that the Saturday? Is that the Saturday before we? No, that's the first Saturday that we have just had classes. So think about
that's
think
Friday.
About that.
Actually, that's the Friday the 28th.
Oh,
that's the.
you're right. It is Friday.
That
It's
is the
not
first
Sunday.
Fordham football game as well.
Oh wow!
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on in New
Got
York.
a lot going on. But just taking a look at this Giants schedule, I don't know if we've ever went over this on one-on-one, the Giants schedule. After it got released maybe a month or two, no, a couple months ago. I think 3 months. I think it got released in May.
Yeah.
It's a tough schedule. No kidding. I mean, they had a tough schedule last year.
Yeah.
Dallas week 1 at home. That's giving me flashbacks to 2023. I think it was when we lost 40-0. Having all the expectations.
Yeah.
I don't think Harbaugh would let that happen, but Dallas is always a tough team to go against. We beat them in the last game of the season last year, but obviously Dallas wasn't starting most of their starters in the second half of the game.
Yeah. Well,
And then week 2 is against the Rams. So
in LA.
Yeah.
That's delightful for you.
That's just great stuff. And
Oh,
all the
gosh.
reports about how the defense has been on our side. If the offense continues to have these problems, I think week 2 is going to be a long game.
Yeah.
Week 3 and week 4, I feel like those are definitely wins, and possibly even week 5 too against Washington. Maybe we beat 6 against the Saints as well.
You could do Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could get that.
So I think that's a good chance. Those 4 games right there. Try and bounce back.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, just looking at the rest of the schedule, we play Seattle. San Francisco is going to be tough. The Lions are going to be tough. Eagles are always tough, whether we play them at home or away.
Yeah.
The Jaguars
at home.
had
away.
a good season as well.
Well, then you got
last year.
an at home the last TBD. The
Yeah.
last game.
No, the time is TBD and the date
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
That honestly that could be a game where Philadelphia might rest their starters depending on playoffs, but I think more importantly for the
That's
Giants
at home too for Giants.
More importantly for the Giants is that they need to start off with a win in one of 2 games. They can't start off like an 0-2 record going into week 3. It's the Giants' way, and it's been the Giants' way for these past couple of years.
Yeah. So that means they have to win that first one at home.
I feel like I feel like they have to win that one.
I just feel like you're not winning.
Yeah, against
in
the Rams.
LA.
I mean, I could see a world where they start off 0-2 and then they win against Tennessee and Arizona and they kind of get back on track. But the one season where they made the playoffs and from the 2020 and on, they started off 2-0. 2-0 in the season, taking down the Titans in week 1.
If they could take, I don't think this is gonna happen, but if they could take down the Rams in LA, that would be.
I think if they take down the Rams, it's gonna be an announcement to the rest of the league that the Giants are here to play.
Are here, yeah.
But I just don't believe that this team is ready. I think give them one more year and then you can call them a team that makes a run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't really find. I mean, I'm gonna try and not be an optimistic Giant fan here. I think just the years of watching Giants football these past couple of years have kind of affected my take on this, and I'm kind of just like expect disappointment.
Yeah.
I don't see this team making the playoffs. I could see them maybe sneaking in, and then just losing round 1, maybe winning round 1. But I said the same thing about the team that made the playoffs a couple years ago. I think they could be like a 7-win team, but they're competitive in every game, and that's really just what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see competitiveness in almost every game.
Yeah.
For the Giants, especially week 1. I think they got to start off on the right foot against Dallas on Sunday, September 13th. But primetime game, and we've got a lot of primetime games this season. That scares me too. The NFL is really leaning into this Giants team and trusting them that they'll deliver good football on primetime.
Or at least a good show. Like not even like a win, but just
make it a close game.
Yeah, not what did you say, 40-0?
Yes. So
yes.
That season exactly. That was the year after we made the playoffs. We played Dallas on Sunday Night Football at home and we lost 40-0. And then we won the next game against the Cardinals, but we were down like 20-0. We ended up coming back somehow, and I was like, "Oh, we're back." Week 3 we lost to San Fran. Week 4 we lost to Seattle on primetime. Actually, week 3 was primetime too, but week 4 was at home on Monday Night Football. and we were sort of inching back, and then Daniel Jones throws like a 96-yard pick six.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's
Wow.
Giants football in a nutshell. But
That's what we don't want this year. We're gonna manifest. Anthony, we're gonna manifest. It's gonna be an okay, at least, year for the Giants.
Hopefully.
Not depression.
Hopefully. I really hope. Their first preseason game, again, a week from today, at home at MetLife Stadium against the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of question marks on who's going to make the roster for New York, but a problem that I've never really seen, and I'm really happy that they do have it, is the amount of depth that they have at each position, whether it's on offense or defense. But that's going to do it for the New York Giants talk. We're going to switch it over to the New York Jets right after this break.
It's WFUV New York, public media from Fordham University. Come for the music, stay for the community. Listen at 90.7 FM or at WFUV.org.
And welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. Anthony Smith alongside Emma Leonardi, Sam Giangrande behind the board for us today as we approach the final hour of our weekly One on One on this beautiful Saturday morning at the beginning of August. Some breaking news in the NFL. Glad we got it for an NFL-related segment. Lane Johnson of the Eagles, their star right tackle, announces that this will likely be his last season. And you knew it was just coming up eventually. He's been a veteran. He's been playing in this league for a while, so he'll have one last go at it. He's a two-time Super Bowl champ. But we'll switch from the Eagles green to the Jets green.
Yes.
The New York Jets.
Yes, the New York Jets.
Who the expectations obviously aren't through the roof after all the moving around that they've done.
Through the roof.
Yeah, I mean,
for the Jets.
When they had Aaron Rodgers, yes.
Not to be offensive if you're a Jets fan.
Not anymore. They do.
A lot of respect if you're a Jets
after the whole Aaron Rodgers situation, I think that you can't really expect anything through the roof with this Jets team. I mean, they were really excited last year about Aaron Glenn, their head coach, and then it's a rough season for them. A lot of quarterbacks switching around too this year. Geno Smith coming back to the Jets. He has so far looked pretty good in camp, and gotta say, from everything I've heard, the vibes are somewhat good for the Jets, who play their first preseason game on Friday against the Buccaneers at MetLife. So that's gonna be tough for those workers, but they've done it before to switch all the Jets merch to the Giants merch from Friday to Saturday. But they've done it, I think, with less prepared time. So those MetLife workers, they work hard.
Well, and I don't know if they do this at MetLife. I've actually never seen a football game at MetLife. So maybe that'll be like my bucket list this year is to go to a game at MetLife.
What have you been to MetLife for then?
Actually nothing. I've never been to MetLife.
Have you at least seen it from like afar?
Well, of course.
Okay.
Well, of course. But maybe that should be my resolution this football season is getting there for a game. We'll see what ticket prices are.
Yeah, they're a little expensive. I was checking actually the other day for Giants and the Cowboys in week 1, and I don't know.
Are they lower for the Jets? No offense. Again, no offense if you're a Jets fan.
They might be.
I actually have a lot of respect if you're a Jets fan.
I imagine, which maybe not. Just because of the expectations and the fact that they don't play week 1 at home. Week 2 is at home against the Packers, and I thought maybe that would be a little bit more expensive just because of how good of a team Green Bay is. But ticket price is only like $89, and Sam's got something he wants to say.
I was gonna say, before we all assimilated into FUV and became a lot more of what we are into now, I remember doing an update. There was a very quoted line that Tucker loved of me saying Giant tickets are only $8. That's cheaper than a hot dog at MetLife. And trust me, if the Giants or Jets have a season like they did last season, you can very much probably get tickets for less than the food or any of the concessions at the stadium.
See, now I'm really confused because you said this was like the start of your FUV career.
Yeah, this was like I would say October, November-ish.
Okay, so the Giants really had to be in a rough boat by then, but like I don't remember them being that bad because Jackson Dart just became the starter by then. So I feel like the ticket prices would have gone up just because they want to see the rookie QB.
If this was,
I was really confused.
I'll give it around November-ish, but I do remember it being that. Because I remember using that line back to back because ticket prices were that low for the Giants.
Was it a practice update or was it like an actual update?
No, this was an actual one.
Oh, okay. I thought you said practice. That's why.
Oh no, but yeah, this is like give or take November-ish during like a basketball game. I was just like, oh, let's see what the New York Giants are doing. I was like $8, like.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's when they started falling off a little bit more.
Yeah. Give or take, that's like my train ticket at that point.
So are you telling me that I should wait?
Oh yeah, this is
I should wait.
I wouldn't want to say wait because I'm a Giants fan, but like I guess you want to see the Jets. I feel so mean, but yeah.
I mean, like it's like a stock, like, but you're not waiting for it to go up. You're hoping it goes down because if you
invest
get lucky,
in the New York Jets.
If you get lucky and it's if they're on a cold streak, then you can get some pretty cheap tickets. But that's my 2 cents.
Let me.
Interesting. The one I was just thinking. Oh, it would kind of be perfect if I saw the Packers at in Jersey September 20th for their first home game, the Jets' first home game, because. Historically, I've been a Packers fan.
Yeah, then I think that's the game you gotta go to. I mean, I'm seeing right now.
Those are not cheap.
Tickets as low as $89.
Really?
Yeah, but
I'm seeing above 100.
I'm also just looking at ESPN.
You're gonna have to send me the site.
I would say go on. I'm just looking at ESPN, just showing what it shows to the right. But I'd say maybe just go on TickPick. They have good ticket prices usually.
Yeah. Anyway, that's so off topic. I actually do, again, reiterating, I have a lot of respect if you're a Jets fan because it takes a lot of perseverance, sticking with your team. That's loyalty to stick by a team like that. And that's not meant to be a backhanded compliment. It is genuinely meant to be a compliment.
I really have no problem with the Jets, just because I feel like
no problem at all.
They don't talk as much.
Yeah.
They're not like the Mets. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I feel like the Mets talk a little bit more because they're obviously better than the Jets at their sport. I
feel like the Mets. Everyone started having a problem with the Mets because Mets fans started talking a lot when Soto was signed.
Yeah, and when they made the postseason too.
And when they made the postseason, I feel like Mets fans got ahead of ourselves. And I will admit,
Did you get ahead of yourself?
I don't think I got ahead of myself.
Okay,
I am a very pessimistic fan. I'm very much expecting only the bare minimum. Bare minimum as in you have to meet expectations of what you're being paid to play. So I'm expecting you to play however much you're being paid, and those are the expectations I'm expecting you to meet. But anything above or beyond that, I'm kind of okay, like if it happens, great. If it doesn't, I expected that. But I do have a lot of respect for Jets fans.
Well, there's some positives for the Jets so far in camp. Obviously, Geno Smith. I thought maybe that he was gonna kind of have an off year. He had an off year with the Seahawks, which led to him getting traded to the Raiders, and then didn't look as great with the Raiders. They've struggled all season long. That's why they wound up with the number 1 pick in the draft. But reports said he's looked good so far in camp. Their offensive coordinator, Frank Reich, has liked what he's seen. They've liked what they've seen of David Bailey, their first-round pick. He continues to impress on the defensive side. In terms of what their schedule looks like, I mean, week 1 at Tennessee, that's going to be tough. I feel like that's a comeback game for Robert Saleh, the new head coach of the Titans, who was the former head coach of the Jets. Green Bay, Detroit, and Chicago, 1, 2, 3. That's tough. I mean, the NFC North last year was just a powerhouse, and those 3 teams were all great, despite not all of them making the playoffs. But the only team that didn't make the playoffs was Detroit, but they're still a great team. They've got Dan Campbell as their head coach, and they've got Jahmyr Gibbs, who just signed a big extension, and that's in Detroit. So that's obviously going to be a tough game to try and pull out a win. And same with Chicago. They're just only going to get better. Green Bay's got a very talented team.
Yeah.
Their division is a lot stronger with the Patriots making the Super Bowl and the Bills being the Bills every year. The Dolphins.
The Bills being the Bills.
The Dolphins are a team that they can wind up with some wins against just because of their quarterback situation and the head coach situation.
That does make me a little sad. I will say, as even though I grew up in like a Packers family, and I would root for the Packers whenever I would actually watch a football game. The Dolphins, when I was like a little kid, dolphins were my favorite animals, and so I like picked the Dolphins because I lived in Miami at the time, and I loved the Dolphins. So that does make me a little sad, just nostalgic, but hopefully for Jets fans, this is good. And maybe, you never know.
I think a positive for the Jets this season is that they wind up the end of the season, they wind up at 3rd place in the division. I don't think they get top 2. I think the Bills and New England, I think they're too good. I think New England might have a down year compared to last year, but I think they'll still finish top 2 in the division.
Yeah.
I think if I was a Jets fan, I'd be very satisfied with sitting at 3rd in the division.
Yeah.
The thing that sucks for them is that they play 12 straight games and they get their bye week a little bit late, coming in week 13. And then those last 2 games are on the road too, against Los Angeles and Miami. So by the time that they play Miami that second time, they might be gassed out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they finish off their season against Denver, tough team. Arizona they can win against. New England's tough. Minnesota's tough just because of the defense. And Buffalo's obviously tough too, but they could be resting their starters.
Yeah.
But for the Jets, it's just going to be a lot of figuring out what kind of pieces that they have on this team and just trying to get these guys back to where they've been before. I mean, Garrett Wilson, not really the same as he was in his rookie year or his second year. He's kind of lowered the expectations, so I think it's a good chance for him to get a bounce-back season here, try and get to the 1,000-yard stat. And I think Geno Smith's definitely going to try and have a strong connection with him. Breece Hall, obviously great as well, but he's dealt with injuries. To see maybe if he can get back to his true form. I said that maybe 3rd place in the division, but can you give us maybe a win total that you think the Jets could be satisfied with going into the season?
Oh God, that's so hard to do.
Because they finished last season, with a 3-14 record. That was 4 games behind the third place slot of the Miami Dolphins.
I'm trying to do math because when you have to subtract
and the Jets ended up losing 5 straight to end the season as well.
Okay, I'm gonna give them. It's actually funny that you just said the losing 5 straight to end. I'm gonna give them 5-12.
5-12.
Winning 5.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good
I think 5 to 6. If you could double your win total, I think that's always great.
Yeah.
If you get to 5, that's good as well. I think there's obviously just not a lot of expectations. For the Jets, that their roster, there's a lot of holes. You just gotta hope that your players that are stars can perform and you get good stuff out of them. Again, just playing
Yeah.
competitive football.
Yeah.
Maybe sneaking in an upset here and there. I think they honestly probably start off 0-4. I could see them being Cleveland. I could see them being Miami. Maybe Vegas. That's 3 right there.
Yeah.
And then Arizona towards the end of the schedule. And then from there, you really kind of have to sneak out a win against a good team.
Yeah.
Because that's 4 wins right there. And I think maybe they could pull off against Minnesota. Maybe they get a sweep against Miami. I don't know,
Yeah.
but we'll wait and see on what happens with
Yeah.
the Jets.
For sure.
Obviously, again, Geno Smith, the starting quarterback, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson going to get a lot of reps this season. David Bailey,
Yeah.
really excited to see what he does on the defensive side for the Jets. They've always had their defense as their strong suit, but it's kind of fell off, and that's really surprising considering that Aaron Glenn is a defensive mind of guy coming over from
Yeah.
the Lions. But I got to say, I don't know if you know about this stat I'm about to bring up, Emma, but
Oh God.
the Jets did not record an interception last season.
I actually did know this.
it.
Did know this.
Yeah.
I know this because my friend Ian Nelson, shout out Ian Nelson, is a Jets fan, and I remember.
Oh, he works for the Ram, right?
Yes, he
I
does.
think he
Yes,
sat next to
does.
him in my Spanish class, and we were talking about the Ram one day.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about the Jets. Like,
I think we talked about March Madness at the time because it was coming up,
Mm.
and
yeah.
yeah.
No, he's a big Jets fan. Again, that's why I say I have so much respect because the loyalty is crazy. Which like that should be the status quo for every fan, but it's not always
Sometimes
the
it isn't.
case. But yeah, he's a big Jets fan, and I don't even know where I was going with this. But oh yes, he did. He told me that when the season ended, he was like, they didn't even record an interception. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, Ian. Briefly, before we move on from NFL in general, sorry to cut our Jets segment short, but I wanted to talk about the Thanksgiving week lineup, which I'm very excited for. I feel like Thanksgiving football is it's just such a staple, especially in my household. We just have the games on.
Has to be on.
Has to be on. Has to be on.
And I forgot the schedule. I'm gonna try and guess it.
Oh yes, try and guess it.
The Lions obviously play the first game.
Yes.
At home. The
Yes.
Cowboys play the second game at home.
Yes.
I'm gonna say the Cowboys play the Eagles on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I remember seeing that actually now. 'Cause they
Yes.
haven't played on Thanksgiving in a while.
So he's got one of the 3 Thanksgiving Day games.
And Lions usually play a division opponent, so I feel like it's gonna be the Bears.
Yes. Two
Okay, now,
out of 3.
The third game is a wild card.
Yes.
So this could really be anybody. Can you give me either NFC or AFC for the home team?
Okay. Yes, I can do that. For the home team,
Yeah.
we have the. I'm looking to make sure that I'm not wrong. AFC.
AFC, okay. The Ravens hosting it?
No.
Chiefs?
No.
No, it's not. Not the Patriots, right?
No.
Oh, wait, you know what? It might be the Bills.
Bingo.
Now,
And
who are
then-
they hosting is the question. NFC,
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Yeah.
You've already said this team name.
I've already said this team?
Yes.
Now, when did I say this team? Chiefs?
Yes. So
Really?
So
I forgot about
I'm
that.
gonna give you 2.5 points for that. I'm turning into Sam with the game.
He shot his head up.
Turned into Sam with that one.
And then before that, Green Bay and Los Angeles play on Wednesday, and then Friday, Denver and Pittsburgh. I'm not really
Yeah.
as excited for the Denver-Pittsburgh
No,
one.
but-
I'm more excited for the Packers and the Rams to play.
I feel like I feel like the Packers, the Rams is gonna be very interesting. I feel like the Thanksgiving Day lineup is pretty good though.
Yeah, it is really good.
That's
Because the
pretty good.
Bears and Lions are good. Eagles and the
Eagles,
Cowboys are always
Cowboys,
good. And
yeah.
it's just a great lineup.
Chief
But
Bills, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it. I like it. Anyway,
we talked a lot of NFL.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the WNBA just shortly, right after this break here on One on One.
Hey sports fans, it's Bobby C. I'm the sports director here at WFUV. From live broadcasts of Fordham Athletics to coverage of all the professional sports teams in the NYC, we've got everything a sports fan could ask for. Like talking sports? Check out One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show, as well as our diverse collection of podcasts. If you're a Fordham student interested in joining our program, feel free to shoot me an email, bobbyc@wfuv.org. And as always, thank you to all of our listeners who support us every week. 90.7 FM is the home of WFUV Sports.
And welcome back to One on One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. I'm Anthony Smith, joined alongside Emily Leonardi as we approach the last 30 minutes of our one-on-one episode. We do have a caller, an anonymous caller. What would you like to talk about today?
How you doing? Scott from New Jersey calling in.
How you doing, Scott?
Like to talk about the football season coming up.
Yeah, what's on your mind about the football season?
Well, I think both New York teams are going to surprise this year. I'm a Giant fan, lifelong Giant fan, and I think the Harbaugh effect is going to have a good results for the team. I think it's going to be held accountable. From what I've been reading and hearing on YouTube videos, that it's running a tight camp, which is good. A little bit more structured than what Dable had the last couple of years. And I think it's having a positive effect on the players so far. And I think it's going to lead to a good chemistry in the locker room. So I expect the Giants to compete for the division and to be relevant in December, whereas past years they were already out by Halloween. As far as the Jets are concerned, I expect them to be improved also. I don't think they're going to tank this year. I think that's not Aaron Glenn's kind of style. I think that they're the defensive guy, so I think the defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. And as long as Geno Smith can manage the game and not make bad decisions and lean on Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and they have a talented tight end group too. The rookie can get onto the field. I know he's having an issue with some surgery he had, but I think both teams and the Jets offensive line too is going to be improved also. So I think both teams have a shot at making some noise this year.
And Scott, before we let you go, and thanks for the call, you said a lifelong Giants fan. Can you give us a win total that you would be satisfied in year one under Coach John Harbaugh?
I would be satisfied if they won 6, but I expect more than 6. I think they're going to be pushing somewhere around 8 or 9. And 9 would be fantastic because I think that would lead them into a wild card spot. So that's my prediction. I know the schedule's tough. First game right out of the gate, Dallas at home on Sunday night. I mean, we've got to put a statement first game right off the bat. But then week 2 doesn't get any easier when they travel to L.A. to play the Rams. So I fully expect, they got to split those first 2 right off the bat. When you come home to Tennessee after that, but, start the Harbaugh era off right with a win against Dallas on national television and make it a decisive win also for a change.
That's what I like to hear, honestly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. 1-1 in the first 2. Scott, thanks so much for the call. You have a great rest of your day. NFL talk was not done yet. That was Scott from New Jersey, everybody, saying some things about the Giants and the Jets, predicting just a little bit above 6 wins for the Giants. That would have him satisfied with year one under Coach John Harbaugh, and he believes that the Jets also might be in for a little bit of a sneaky year this year as well.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah,
at all.
I mean, obviously don't hate it as a Giants fan, so I'm happy to hear that one. But
yeah,
we're finally done with the NFL talk.
Yes.
Let's go into the WNBA.
Oh, the scandalous WNBA.
We have some things to talk about. Let's talk about this first before we get into how the league's been doing and all these other teams and how the playoffs are somewhat shaping out right now, as we have about 2 months in the season, I think it is. Yeah. So Inez Kanter has declared for the WNBA draft a former first-round pick of the New York Knicks, who has not played since 2022 after being waived by the Houston Rockets. Now, I wasn't aware of this till yesterday. I was hanging out with my friend. He tells me, and I look at this, and it seems pretty accurate. Like this gonna happen. He came out. He said it that he has declared for the WNBA draft. Him and his team have gone through the rules and regulations of the WNBA. And I know Tucker said earlier that Conter may be trolling, but I just don't think he might. I think that this is pretty serious. I think he's serious about this. They've gone through this all. I mean, him and his team have really gone through this, and it seems like he's serious about joining the WNBA.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just even if like. Okay, first of all, I want to clarify that when I said the scandalous WNBA, I meant the scandalous Ines Kanter, because what is going on? Literally, what is going on? I'm baffled. I'm absolutely taken aback. Yep. I literally found out about this morning from Anthony from Tucker.
I brought it up because I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And I was going through my notes on the WNBA, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. We recorded All In yesterday morning at 11 a.m. It was posted at 12:15, so you can find that wherever you find your podcasts. And we recorded an episode we recorded about Rivals Week because that's what's coming up. And then about the Liberty and Aces game tomorrow. But I kind of like clocked out of WNBA thinking after that last night. And so I didn't even see it. And I come in this morning and they're talking about it and I'm like, what are you talking about? I had to sit in silence looking at my computer and just reading his tweet and like the articles over and over again because I was just like, what is going on? Genuinely, what is going on?
So now, do you think that Conter is legit and in no way trying to mess around here and he actually wants to play in the WNBA and think this is official? And then a second question, do you think a team will draft him?
Oh God, it's just so bad. Like and we were talking about this again before the show, and I think this ties into this. This is going to be kind of a long-winded way for me to answer this question, but Tucker was saying like how the W hasn't responded yet, and I was saying
they probably
that
have to be
makes
formulating
sense.
some response. Yeah,
They have to be formulating some response so that they themselves do not become scandalous with this, because like it seriously, like it is such a difficult situation. I don't even know how else to say that.
Yeah,
it's
a tough conversation.
It is a tough conversation to have. You have Sophie Cunningham, who I think it was about 3 weeks ago, made a whole statement that she said wasn't political. She claims to not be a political person, which we also talked about this on that episode of One on One, where we were like, how can you claim to not be political and then like make these statements? But she made several statements about trans athletes and trans athletes in the W specifically, and just having these two things happen within a month of each other is like, there's no way. I'm gonna go back to my original. You can tell my brain is scrambled by this. Like, you can tell that I'm just like, how do I even talk about this? So okay, going back. Tucker was saying like W hasn't responded yet. You can't. Like, you actually can't. You have to take time to think it through, and you have to go through PR people and like make sure that like what you're going to say, you're going to not only is what you want to say, but also something that you can stand by, because we were also talking about how in kind of like a weird way they've been backed into a corner with the policies that they have regarding transgender athletes, and that's not me saying that they're wrong policies at all, but it has allowed for a situation like this to occur. I would be interested to fully read the guidelines, the W guidelines about how he's allowed to make this sort of move and to become a W prospect. He says in his tweet, I think he said that he and his legal team had thoroughly gone through the guidelines and made sure that he aligns with all of them, and apparently he does. And it's just so hard because it's like you don't want to accuse someone at all of lying when they say that they are in accordance with something. Specifically when somebody is claiming to be transgender. You don't want to assume or accuse them of lying about that. However, this is such a unique situation where it doesn't feel like he's hiding that at all. So what the W has to do here is they have to figure out a way to respond without discouraging. I don't want to say actual transgender athletes because I don't want to ever assume that somebody is lying about this, but it's everything he's put out. Like,
yeah, it seems accurate.
Yeah. So if he's genuinely not lying about this, he's genuinely transgender, then I apologize.
Yeah.
But running off the assumption that most people in the media have right now is that he is lying just so that he can, make a statement, get back into playing basketball. Like,
maybe he misses basketball. I mean, he hasn't played since 2022. It's a tough situation to go over, but again, that's Enes Kanter declaring for the WNBA drafts.
Yeah,
a former first-round pick of the New York Knicks. Last played 2022 with the Houston Rockets. Waiting on anything from the WNBA, see if they say anything. And obviously just recently came out, so they're probably still formulating some sort of response.
For sure.
But yeah.
And then there was the second guy who came out. I think that this is important to note. I'm looking up his name so I can get it right. But Royce White apparently has also declared for the 2027 W draft. And interestingly enough, his quote, I'm trying to find it because I read it this morning and I was like, I read it to them and I was like, I don't even know what to say. Hold on one moment. But he is also, he's also declared, and he, where's his comment? I literally had this article open earlier.
That's one thing to get in, but also there could be, I think I mentioned this, but a chance that he doesn't get drafted at all by any WNBA team.
Oh, for sure. It's just hard because then you're putting the teams in you're also backing the teams into a corner because the teams don't want to discourage transgender athletes from, they don't want to.
Then it could also lead to disagreements on whether one team likes this or not.
100%. He said, and I think this is the last thing, really to say, but I do think it's important to note because with Enes Kanter, it does seem to be that he is doing it for the purposes of basketball. But Royce White actually said, "I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of professional basketball." And apparently he told that to Fox News. And that just you can, that's a I'm telling you that I am not transgender, but I'm using it as a way to play basketball.
Yeah.
Again,
an interesting situation
very
taking
interesting.
over the WNBA, but let's talk about what's been going on within the league now.
Yes.
So Emma mentioned that the New York Liberty back in action tomorrow against the Las Vegas Aces. I think that's at the Barclays Center. Aces second in the league, 2.5 games back of the top spot. They're actually tied with the third place team in the Valkyries. The New York Liberty, for them, they are on a 3-game winning streak, sitting in the final postseason spot, that 8th spot so far in the league. 6 games ahead of the Sparks, who sit 9, but 6 games back of the Lynx for the top spot in the league. Something that really is interesting for me. seeds 4 through 8 right now, all within like half a game of each other. 19-12 record for 2 teams, 18-12 for one, 19-13 for the Wings and the Liberty. So it's kind of a matter of not who's going to sneak into the playoffs, but a matter of what's the postseason seeding going to be like.
Yeah.
It seems like the teams at the top kind of going to stay at the top. The Lynx, the Aces, and the Valkyries, all within the top 3, especially the Lynx. I mean, they've been on a dominant run. They just lost their last game on Thursday to the Sparks. That was their first loss since July 6th to the Sun. But I know you got some things to mention about the New York Liberty and
for sure.
going against the Las Vegas Aces tomorrow.
Yes. So we have Liberty Aces at Barclays tomorrow. We have Kate Cox covering that. And it's Rivals Week, so this is part of Rivals Week. We were talking about it yesterday on one-on-one, not on one-on-one, on All In. We were talking about this, and we were talking about how this is like I think Mary Hannah, who was also recording with us, she said that the Sky Fever one, I think, was her most anticipated. I might be getting that wrong, but you can go listen to the episode if you want to know. But Kate and I definitely were like, yes, like we are ready for this matchup. Again, Kate's gonna be there tomorrow. You can follow along Twitter, X, Catherine, KATHRYN, Cox, COXX, on X. So yeah, you can follow along tomorrow with her, and that should be a great matchup if you're a W fan.
It's a good test to how good of a Liberty team this is too,
and just fun.
Yeah,
like, I just think it's
3-game winning streak. See if they can keep it going, kind of move their way up, because it's almost like kind of Major League, but I think it's even more tighter. How the Major League Baseball, has a lot of teams in the wild card race. This just has a lot of teams fighting for a better playoff spot.
Yeah.
I mean, a decent amount of them are 6 games back or 5.5, and then obviously the Sparks, who sit 12 games back. It feels like they're not totally out of it, but it feels like these top 8 teams are going to be the teams that are going to be performing in the postseason.
Well, and you have Asia Wilson back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's also another thing to look out for tomorrow's game, is that Asia Wilson is back playing against the Liberty, and I think that's. We were talking about our predictions for tomorrow, and I think it's going to be the Aces.
I have a question for you, Emma.
Yes.
Obviously, top 3 teams: Lynx, Aces, Valkyries, and then a bunch of other teams in the mix. Out of those teams in the mix, 4 through 8, is there any team that you could see maybe finishing in a similar spot to where they are right now that could possibly make a push to try and get a championship and take down some of these top teams?
I obviously want to say Liberty because I'm a Liberty fan, but I think it's so hard. I feel like I don't hate like the Fever in just logistically thinking like that they could make a push. I don't hate that idea. I don't want them to make a push. I just don't I don't care to really like see that. I feel like with again the Sophie Cunningham stuff going on, and then also like just Caitlin Clark and all of that, I don't really necessarily like a fan in me does not really want to see that, but I feel like it would be interesting and it would logistically make sense. But I also want to say Liberty because
I would say, I mean, obviously, because I'm a New York guy, I'm always going to be rooting for the New York team, but my favorite player in the WNBA is Paige Beckers, and I feel like,
I love Paige Beckers.
That's just like my favoritism for
Yeah.
Paige might be coming into my pick of maybe the Wings could make a push, but
yeah, I don't hate that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, these top three teams, they seem to be dominant. So you don't know if they would given up that spot and if they continue their dominance in the postseason. But again, I think they play till the end of September. I think that's when the regular season comes to an end.
Yes.
Because I remember them kind of being intertwined with October baseball as well.
Yes.
When the Liberty won their championship. And I think the Mets and the Dodgers were playing at the time. Yankees, Guardians playing at the time. My memory just serves me well with sports, and everything else, it's all right. Actually, sports and pizza for some reason.
Sports and pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Just working in a pizzeria. I just remember everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's gonna be really fun to see how this plays out in the postseason. Always fun to see a lot of well-tested teams go against each other. So I think we're really built in for a good WNBA postseason. Again, catch the New York Liberty in action tomorrow at the Barclays Center against the Las Vegas Aces. Kate Cox will be on the coverage for WFUV Sports. But for now, that's going to conclude our WNBA segment. We've got a game to close things out here on this Saturday morning. We don't know the game. Sam's going to tell us the rules, but Sam will always be delivering on the game, so I'm really excited to see what he's got in store for this one right after this break.
Yankees fans, have the official Yankees official game day program delivered to your door. Subscribe to Yankees Magazine by calling 800-GO-YANKS or visiting yankees.com/publications and get 8 issues a year for just $34.99 plus shipping. The Yankees official 2026 yearbook and media guide are also available for purchase. Get your Yankees Magazine yearbook or media guide today. Call 800-GO-YANKS or log on to yankees.com/publications.
Hi, this is Mike Breen, WFUV class of 1983. WFUV is the flagship station of Fordham Athletics with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to Saturday one-on-one. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. I've had one call-in already. Again, the number is 718-817-2750. As we approach the final segment, Sam's going to close things out here as he gave us a game to play for these last 20 minutes. Sam, take us away on the rules for this magnificent game, I'm sure, that is coming up.
So during our little break right there, can you guys hear me? Wrong mic. There we go.
I was wondering why he sounded so faint.
My bad. Okay, so to explain the rules during our quick break there, I walked in the studio and handed both you guys a stack of index cards. And on the non-blank side of the index cards, it has an athlete's name. And if you ever played Heads Up, it's basically Heads Up, but with athletes. So whoever goes first, they're going to take a card, hold it above their head. Sorry, I don't have the budget for the headbands, but
that's okay.
We'll make do. We'll make do with what it is, and
got it.
It's just a simple game of Heads Up. So the person who isn't holding the card is gonna say clues about this mystery athlete, and I think you can basically say anything.
Sam, we'll play like that, but if we get anything that's like too
is there a skip option? Like
there's
a skip option, but I'm saying if there's anything like I say, like let's say it's Aaron Judge, I'm like, if he wears like number 99 for the Yankees, like I feel like I feel like you gotta like try and like dig deep. I feel like, and Sam, I'll let you be like the judge of if I or Emma say anything like
the judge.
Ooh.
Oh my God,
that was
amazing.
I'm
amazing. I just wanted to.
Wow. Okay, continue.
Wow, that guys, I swear this is not me doing this. Okay, but like just if we're like saying anything that's like kind of a cop out,
I think I'll be. Not the joke now. I will be the judge of it. I think
be the Aaron Judge.
The more impressive you are with how you're able to say it, it works better for you. Because I think I gave pretty well-known athletes. It's nothing too hard.
Okay.
So I really don't think there will be many skips.
Okay.
So we'll go with that. But
all right.
I think
who should go first?
I'll say a quick game of rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
Right.
And we have a draw going back in, and another draw. What's going on? And there we go. Anthony Smith getting the scissors out, getting rid of Emma's paper
just
to go
for
first in
everybody,
the game.
only listening. We both got scissors the first 2 times, and then I did paper. He did scissors.
Just had to do a
for anybody listening right
Anyone
now.
listening, just so you
it's
have
11
a
to
visual.
2 a.m. on 90.7 FM.
Yeah.
So Anthony, it's your choice. Do you want to start? Do you want to take the first card?
I want to give the clues first. I want to see what kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not
Actually, I don't remember the order, so I'm gonna be
not
guessing
looking.
too. I can't see it.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy smashes a lot of dingers. Plays in New York.
Is it like I don't want it?
You're getting.
I'm gonna say Juan Soto.
Tall guy.
Tall. Is it Aaron Judge?
Yeah, that's
Aaron
crazy what I
Judge.
just did. That is crazy.
Can I rip this card?
I forgot that was the first one I did.
I didn't want to say Aaron Judge
my
first.
God.
That's why I went the Juan Soto route, because I was like, we just were talking about that. Anyway, okay. Wow.
So that is a point to Emma, but I'm assuming you're both gonna get. It should be 6 each. I think.
All
I'm
right,
at 12.
I get it.
Okay.
So.
Okay, don't look.
I'm
Don't
not
look.
looking. I'm not looking. Wait, I don't want to see in the. Okay, I'm gonna have like yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, okay. He's a soccer or football player.
Lionel Messi.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
Come on.
Wow. I was
Come on now.
so prepared. I was gonna say he's been controversial.
Sam, I feel like once we get to like the later rounds, we start getting the hang of it. Like for the last stream we should do like a 15-second timer.
No. Oh my God. No. Okay.
We can do a quick timer.
Okay.
Right?
No, wait, not yet.
Not
We
yet.
gotta
No.
get locked in first. I gotta
Okay.
get locked in first.
Okay.
Gotta get used to the game.
Okay.
All right. Okay. He's a hockey player.
Okay.
He plays again a local team.
Local team.
Yes.
Matthew Schaefer.
No. I'm trying to think. Plays red jersey.
Jack Hughes.
Yes.
Bang.
Is that too much? Like I don't want to like give too much. I was gonna say like Chip Tooth.
No, that was good
Yeah,
because
that's
that was
good.
good. That was good. That was
I
good.
mean, like, for normal heads up, you can say anything you want really outside the name or
yeah.
whatever it is.
No, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Whenever
Don't
Emma
look.
goes, I have
I'm
no
not-
idea who she has. I completely
You can tell me
forgot.
every time. Don't look. All right,
Yeah,
ready?
I'm gonna tell you every time.
I can't
What's
remember
so
who
funny?
that
He
is.
hits dingers in New York.
Juan Soto.
What's Juan Soto?
Yeah.
And I only.
It's because I said the same thing before, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it would bring you back to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say hitting dingers, and I'll get any hitter.
Why'd you laugh?
This is my Lord and Savior. You are my sunshine. She doesn't get the reference. It's fine. Philadelphia.
That was a great reference.
Is this Braun?
This Braun.
It is Braun.
Braun.
You know what's funny is that when you laughed, I was actually just gonna say Braun.
Yeah, I mean,
because
honestly,
I'm getting some real, I'm getting some real athletes I have some connections with. That's
I
kind of
picked
crazy.
pretty universally known athletes.
No,
I
these
think.
are good. These are
I
good.
want to do niche ones.
all right, ready? So funny.
Also a soccer/football player.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wow, we are rolling through these.
I don't know how many we're at left, but
I'm at athlete number 7.
all right. So
All right, King of New York.
King of New York.
Yeah.
This is Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
it is Brunson.
Easy. Wow.
I really think I should up
Damn.
the difficulty. Wow.
Yeah,
No,
maybe
this
a
is-
little bit. I don't know.
Maybe.
No, but I think this is good.
It's
we're,
fun. It's like rapid
it's,
fire.
It's rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Don't look.
Oh, I honestly almost did.
Don't look.
So it's instinctive to try and see it.
Oh my god.
Give me the sport. I want to see if I can guess it off the sport.
Basketball.
Okay. We did LeBron. We did
I can't
Brunson.
see who I wrote. It's too far from me.
You could get
Did
this.
LeBron. We did Brunson. Who else is famous in the Wemby?
Yeah.
No way! No way!
I was like, you can get this off
is
the
actually
sport.
crazy.
Let's go.
This is going crazy.
Let's
right
go. Okay. Goat.
now. Ooh.
I just want to give you goat and see what happens.
No, because we have
Okay, fine.
We
I'm
have
trying to think what
different-
sport this is.
say sport.
Football. What's the hesitation?
Come on.
Oh, she doesn't like this guy.
She got
Or-
back
or
to
she
back-
actually doesn't
It's
know.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It is Tom Brady.
I don't like Tom Brady.
Yeah, back
That's-
to
that's-
back
is that
two
why?
people she didn't
No,
like.
when you said GOAT, I thought you were gonna say you were talking
LeBron
about
James.
baseball and you were talking Jeter, and I was like, we have
Ooh,
different
that'd be a
definitions of
good one.
GOAT.
Oh no, he's not.
Okay. I was like, but I got scared. Don't look. Don't look. Oh,
Oh, what are the odds? This
my
is
king.
Francisco Lindor.
No. I didn't even. That was just a comment. That wasn't even supposed to be a hint. Soccer.
Christian Pulisic.
No.
no.
My king.
Neymar?
Anthony, how
No.
how do you not know this?
Wait, this is soccer.
This is think big name in soccer.
Big.
Especially,
Oh, Mbappe.
Yes.
There we go.
I just did the Mbappe special. Wow.
Okay.
I thought she was just like, oh, well, this is actually your king.
Is this Francisco?
Yeah.
No way! What are the odds of these? This might be the most perfect matchup of
This
all
is crazy.
time.
Okay, we have the
Sam,
last
you gotta be
one.
Sam, you gotta be trolling us, man.
Sam, we have the
No,
last
I actually
one.
might be trolling with this one. I have no idea
Don't-
how I got this to be perfect. Though.
Tell me don't look for the last one.
Don't look. I
Yeah.
said it. I said it.
Give me sport.
Wait. Oh. We
Ooh,
were
this is a good
talking
one.
about him.
We were
I-
talking about him.
You have said this person's name a lot.
Probably
but
more
not
times than like anyone
more
else
times
today.
than anyone else today, but not for the reason you think.
I've been saying this guy's what? Wait. Say that again.
You've been saying this guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying his name when we were talking about the sport that he plays, but you've said his name for other reasons. Still related to the sport he plays.
Still related to
You
the
really have as much time as you want with this one.
Yeah, I know.
This
I'm
is the
a-
last one.
Yeah. Who can be mentioned in other sports? Do you have to be either really good or really bad? There's no. Actually, no. You have to be really good because
No.
like there's no niche players.
No. Come on, you got this. He's new.
He's new.
He's new.
Oh, George Lombard.
Yeah.
There we go.
You've
Ah.
mentioned his name more than anyone else because you've done the tickets.
Oh.
Talked about the tickets
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so like I love how it was like all
was
like the
trying to
best
be, like, a
players, and
little
then
bit
George
harder.
Lombard just gets thrown in there. I mean, no offense to him,
No,
but
no, I love that for him. Wow.
I wanted the last two to be Yankees Mets. Like that was
Yeah.
that was
Wow.
kind of predetermined. I didn't think it would go that quick.
can we
I mean,
can we try doing it with Sam now? I mean, he probably knows though.
you can give me. Ooh, I've never once had my own games backfired on me. I mean, I'm trying to think. If you write on your or I'm trying to
I'll
how
just
to do
think.
it.
I'll just think of it. I'd get. You want to give him like or like 2 athletes each,
2 athletes each.
or 3 athletes each?
We could do that.
Okay. I'll start off because
This
I
is
have
so new to
one.
me.
I have one in mind.
Okay.
So, am I guessing the athlete?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm trying.
All right, ready? I'm gonna give you some hints.
All right.
I gotta think of a good first hint.
Wait, am I guessing the hints or are you giving the hints to me?
I'm giving the hints to you.
Gotcha.
And then you just gotta name the player.
All right.
Actually, you guys can like compete at this too if you want.
Okay.
All right.
All
I
right.
mean, he'll probably get it before me. if
America.
Pulisic.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Oh.
that is crazy.
I've been anticipating the day someone says, "Sam, you're doing a game." Like I've never
This
once experienced this before.
It's so mean because that's the athlete I had in mind that I was gonna do.
You
for my
get
first
like half a
one.
point because you had the athlete in mind, I guess.
It was envisioned.
Yeah.
Brazil.
Neymar.
Yep.
Okay. See, I was gonna say Neymar too.
Yeah, okay.
We're just saying. All right. We gotta step away from soccer. He's too good
Oh,
at soccer.
no.
He can see my computer screen. Though,
I
so
actually
can't
can't see it because
Okay, good.
the monitor's in front of
Okay.
me.
I don't have anything pulled up. I'm just like straight
Off the
spitballing, guys.
dome,
Yeah.
What's your soccer team again, Sam?
Chelsea.
Okay.
Which apparently people
I only
are
know,
saying
like, Cole
Ronaldo
Palmer.
might. Ooh, Cole Palmer.
I think.
But-
Oh, and Courtois. He used to play there, right?
Yeah. But this is random, but apparently Ronaldo might go to Chelsea. This is like coming out within the last few hours. Nothing
Sam, what's your
too official.
second sport besides soccer? Would you say? I'm gonna go there.
God. I don't know really.
Wait,
like,
wait. I have a player.
Oh, you have a player?
Oh.
Oh, you can go then.
I have a
haven't.
player.
I haven't thought.
This is gonna be a okay. This is gonna be like a if you I'm not actually gonna give you that hint. Short.
Short.
Kind of buns.
Kind of short and kind of buns.
Personality higher.
Gavi.
Yep.
Oh my God! I might be him. Oh my God.
Wait, who's
I'm
that?
From downtown. Oh my God! For 3 Sam Giangrande of that one. Like
That
Oh
I was
my
giving you. I was
God.
trying to give you like, because he's such a specific player. But
That's
we talked,
crazy.
That's everything that we said
Yeah.
about him.
So Anthony, he's on the Spanish national team.
And I just
for-
personally
okay.
love him.
Oh my
and
God.
He's kind of not a great player.
He's gone down in quality, I would say, in the last few years.
Yeah.
3 for 3. Have
Wow.
I guessed anything wrong so far? That might bite me,
No.
like saying that now. But
I don't think you have.
Okay, I'm gonna go with somebody now. Okay.
I'm scared. I am. I'm pulling Emma and say I'm scared right now. Like I don't know who this could be.
Don't look at my computer
I
screen.
can't
'cause
see
I'm
it.
looking at my next one.
I'm looking at the monitor actually, so I'll look this way.
Ready, Sam?
Yeah, I'm ready.
He smashes a lot of dingers for the Dodgers.
Oh no, what's his name? Otani.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I think I got that
wow.
right.
Okay. Okay. Don't look at my computer screen.
I promise you I can't see it.
Um.
We'll go into maybe 155. We'll go 156s
This
because then we
was-
can reveal the words.
This
Yeah.
was marquee signing for the 2026-2027 season.
A marquee
He's
signing.
a midfielder.
Jordan Henderson.
No.
Oh,
Damn.
I'm trying to think.
Thought Sam was about to go from way downtown.
I wanna. I don't know if it's Chelsea or not. Is it Bruno Guimaraes?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is.
Wait, what was
Somebody
it?
put me on lockdown. Like, I'm so for real. Bruno, I butchered his name. Bruno Guimaraes for Brazil. He just signed to Arsenal.
Yeah.
The kid's he's shooting threes and it's nothing but green.
Nothing but green right
Nothing
now.
but green.
I've been ready for this day.
All right, I gotta go like
him.
not niche, but like, you know,
True.
somewhat niche here. What sport? Sam, would you rather we do basketball or baseball, you think?
Basketball. At least I know the famous people for that.
Okay. I gotta.
But this is testing me a little right now.
I want to go like a number 2 option on like some random team. I
Oh,
don't want to give him a
come
number
on.
1.
You want to do a random. Wow.
That's kind of torturous for me. I won't lie. You're kind of trolling me with that. I'm trying to.
All right, I got one.
Oh,
It's not a number 2.
All right.
Doesn't seem like he cares about the game he plays.
Josh Hart.
No.
Oh.
Horses.
Oh, Jokic.
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Let's go.
That's big time.
Oh my god.
That is big time.
For 3 with that one. Like, wow.
This is incredible.
That's great.
This is an incredible run.
This is basically like, I would say an analogy is taken. I would say a smart NBA fan from London right now. Like, doesn't know too much about it. Like, kind of. I'm discrediting myself a little. I've learned from everyone here, but. And I think that's another one for 3 right there.
Absolute cinema from Sam Giangrande.
I keep hitting the pose, the Scorsese pose.
Buckets.
So are you gonna are you gonna reveal the words now?
Yeah. So text me your final scores.
I think I texted you mine
Alright.
when I did the last one.
All right. So I have Anthony. I have yours now. I'm just waiting for yours.
I think. I don't know if I miscalculated.
I'm gonna say that's right because
Okay.
that's at least the number I had.
Okay.
Do you want me to do this to where I'm gonna reveal the flat out score and then you guys guess? Or
I think final score and then we guess.
Okay.
Do you have any idea what my words are?
No.
Okay, because I have no idea what your words are.
Okay, good.
I mean, once you hear the number, it might click a little. You have to be like, "What did I hear a lot?" We'll go final score. This was a close photo finish. We have 19-17.
No.
But Anthony, if you can get either word, you can snatch a win if Emma can't figure it out. So we'll do.
I'll tell you, I don't know your words.
You don't know at
who
all.
wants to go first?
I was gonna throw. You know, can I say my word now?
Oh no, I still want you to guess. Like, who knows? You can get a way downtown
guess,
something.
Okay,
Do I get 2 guesses or
we have
1?
to guess
You get
each
2.
other.
1 for the easy, 1 for the hard.
Yeah, because remember, there's 2.
Yeah. Damn.
I will say these were a lot harder from last week.
Yeah, because that's what I felt like. Because I thought
hard.
I heard her say Messi. I was like, oh, it could be Messi, not like Messi, Lionel Messi, but like
Yeah.
Messi, like with a
Mhm.
Y. And then she stopped saying it. But there was also another one. But you could also just be saying that because I say this too. What is it?
Any intuition you have.
Not. I'm really excited to see what is the other saying that goes. Interesting.
No.
Interesting's not a word, Anthony. Do you have
Yeah.
a guess for the hard one, or
Oh man.
can I reveal this that I think Emma, you used the hard word infinitely times more than the easy one.
I think I did the same thing.
Yeah, both of you guys actually.
And
used
I
the
was
harder word.
I was gonna throw one in too at the end. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go with 17. I just feel like Emma
Oh
hasn't
my
been saying
God.
anything.
Oh, I threw in. No, I'm not gonna say that until after.
You can never be too sure with any of this. That's all I'll say. But Anthony,
Yeah.
any last guesses for the hard word?
I just have to spitball something, right?
I mean, you don't have to. You can just take the L.
Yeah. No, I can't. I can't take the L. I can't do that. I'm probably gonna take the L regardless, but I'm gonna say mess. I just messing. I don't know. I was running out of time. What was it?
Wait, so you're done guessing?
Yeah.
You're taking the L.
Yeah.
Okay, so I win.
Taking the L, Anthony.
Okay.
So Emma's back-to-back winner of it.
What were the 2 words?
Oh, you want me or Emma? You want?
Or you want to guess?
Do you want to reveal yours and then you want me to reveal mine?
Yeah. So I had dinger, and then I had trolling. Dinger/dingers, and then I had trolling.
Dingers with a S in parentheses.
And I'm so mad because I actually threw a trolling in there early, but I said troll, so it didn't count.
Oh, see if only.
My easy one was buckets, which I threw a bunch at
Right
the
at
end.
the end, there was a lot. Both of you guys
I almost
both said
lost
them at
because
the
I
end.
didn't throw those in, but I said it 4 times within like the last 2 minutes. And then scandalous.
So
I feel like I
will say
heard
for
you say that
context,
WNBA. Yeah,
I
or
thought that you
you say,
had
yeah.
guessed that because I saw you like type on your computer.
No, I
like,
think-
and
I
you were
don't-
like smiling a little bit, and I
don't know what
then
I
I
was
like
going with.
I texted
Yeah.
Sam and I was like, I think he got it. I said scandalous 5 times.
Yeah.
give or take.
What an ending. That's going to do it
Wow.
for this week's edition of One on One, a very interesting episode. But that's going to do it for Emma Leonardi, Sam Giangrande behind the board, Tucker Austin, who's now covering the Yankees game for us, and our sports director, Bobby Chaffordini. I'm Anthony Smith, saying so long from the Rose Hill Studios. Have a great rest of your day.